You know, there's a lot of names that have been and gone here for Bro, but Morgan is forever.
Yep, and the vibes are eternal.
They are.
They can change the players, it's still Bro.
Well, they're going to be banning away the Nidalee and the Rumble to start us off here. Breon on the blue side with that slight advantage, given the fact that Skarner and Kalista need to be banned every single game. That mistake was made. Humbug does have a game on Skarner. He doesn't have a definable KDA, though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Dying too much. You're gonna ban the Azir away from closer. Varus still up, Ashe still up, Jace still up. A lot of the power picks. I feel like maybe if you want that Jace, you can pick it up now. Probably would get traded for a Cassante though. So they end up just going instead for the Vi, prioritizing a pick that can really shut down. I mean, against aiming, a lot of value. And now it's up to D+. Do you want the Jace or do you want the Cassante? I think ultimately the Jace has a stronger overall power level.
It does because it's so flexible. And this is how DK have been drafting, right? They draft for flex, for getting all of that extra, you know, draft power that you claim from it. But instead, the strength of the Cassante is going to ring true. Will be the Varus locked in there as well. And Vitalia is standing out like a sore thumb, but Closer can go towards something more assassin-based, right? Like a LeBlanc could come in here. Like, there are so many options. Ari,
Aurora,
that he's fantastic at. Aurora,
insane Aurora game. A lot of options there, especially when you know you're going into a mobile AD carry and you have someone to back you up to lock them down. Do you also think that if they do want the Jace, they could lean towards that in this rotation? Not necessarily now. They instead go for the Elise, prioritizing that for Polu.
I feel like this is a pick away. Varus Elise is very, very strong.
Yeah.
And Beryl is kind of crazy and also manages to win games even if he dies 9 times. So they're going to take that one away from him. Certainly, pick composition well and truly on the cards. Like, Closer locks an Ari in here, and Cocoon into Charm is so dangerous if they do make that happen. But instead, like you were talking about, the Jace going to be picked up does give them a bunch of extra range. That flexibility, like we were talking about, still applies.
Yeah, I think they figured that, you know, there's enough mid picks that we can take that we're fine. We need to secure this Jace. So strong.
Showmaker was jealous, man.
So early today what is able to do, and now over to D+ here. I think securing a jungler here. We often see jungle pool
there it is.
thinned out quite quickly in the draft.
What about the jungle pool and support pool at the same time being thinned out?
Yeah, well, you covered both bases. They have the flexibility with this one. I do think it's really stronger in the jungle, to no surprise, but have the option there if they want to go in another direction. And it does make it a bit trickier for Bro to ban. Now, they do ban that Aurora away from Closer. I think that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
He had an insane game on that pick.
And do you ban an AD carry next, just because you can't ban both Ari and LeBlanc from Closer, and also you're not even sure whether he's going to be just not playing the Jace? I
think if you're really concerned about something like Ashe is still open and has been left available, you could definitely take away that. They end up going for Kai'Sa, makes sense with the Vi.
Oh, this also deters them from flexing as well. Less options as far as AP champions on the bottom side. Ziggs still up and available, but a different playstyle, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can still follow up when you dive in, but Ziggs at least is a very goofy lane.
Yeah. The Zillion ban, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, honestly, makes sense when you think about what it can offer to the team and how it can pair up with Pantheon.
And how they've already played it.
From Showmaker, so yeah, I think you should respect that one.
Well, he now has to give himself away. This would be a lot of lane power, as we have seen the Karma picked into the Elise before, and that will be happening once again. Beryl's Karma doesn't exactly fill me with joy, but we'll see what is going to come of it. As saving Showmaker's pick until last, we'll have confirmation as to where the Jace is going at that point. But man, this pick comp is really coming together. Pick and poke here for OK Savings Bank Breon. As that Ari that we were talking about, we're expecting that one to be pretty high priority, and that will be picked up. So the Humbug Closer combo is in full force here for this game. And there is a Jhin or an Ashe. Like, both of them fit this composition gorgeously on Bro's side. And I feel like, once again, blue side and, like, making the perfect archetypical draft is once again ringing true.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to see how Bro can protect their Varus in this situation and what they end up picking for Showmaker. A lot of threats coming in here. The Silas pick makes complete sense. Good value with both the Vial, the Oriel, and the Ashol.
And you can also...
options.
Oh, there's the Swain. So it's one of Showmaker's favorites. If we remember all the way back to Worlds a few years ago, is Swain absolutely dominating.
Yeah.
This is the guy that really put Swain on the map here for our LCK mid laners and is continuing to find success on it.
Yeah, I think Swain is a pick where, you know, in the right situation is just so valuable, so strong, but also can be quite feast or famine. If he's behind, you can burst through him before he really gets out value. If he's ahead, he just feels immortal. And you're playing into a comp where they have to dive into you. It's almost definitely going to be a poke Varus. He's going to be sitting along range, firing off these arrows. The job of Breon is to close the distance and engage, and you're diving into a Swain, you're diving into a Cassante, a Pantheon. This doesn't feel that good, but that's what your comp is locked into. So I think it makes a lot of sense. Also kind of eliminates you as a target, so sorry aiming, you are now.
Yep.
You're the target, maybe Beryl as well. But yeah, I think it does what D+ need to sort of round out that composition. They are very much playing the anti-dive playstyle into what Bro have.
Yeah, Bro do have a lot of sort of ranged keep away that they can play around as well. Jace a fair bit of range as well. It's just like you were saying, Ari wanting to be going forward. Vi is always going to be going forward.
Yep. I think
so they can play around with it.
If they fire like an Ash Arrow into a Charm, into a Cocoon, you can deal with Swain without really committing, which is a lot of power. So yeah, they definitely have that aspect to the composition.
Some Chain CC available here for the Giga Chads, but we'll see how they do against an undefeated D+. As we jump onto the Rift. I don't know whether you guys can hear it that clearly at home, but the fan chant leader for D+ sounds about as unhinged as he absolutely should, being a fan of this team. Certainly very, very much giving the right energy. As they're making their way through, Aiming and Lucid sitting on top of a ward here right now. Yep. As Beryl with a very old skin for Karma. Actually was a release Karma, Sun Goddess Karma or something like that.
Oh, is that the one he had? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was a good one. It was like the release skin that no one used. It's like the secondary one. Everyone used the dark purple one, and I don't remember the name of that. But anyway, I liked it, and so did Beryl. So there we go. Let's see how this one goes. We can see already lane swap has come on through as Hype and Polo are moving towards the top side.
Yeah, I think it makes sense as well. The Varus Karma level 1 is so obnoxious. And the thing with Elise is you don't really have that much trading power in terms of like, you can fire your Q off, but you're outranged by the Karma. You kind of need level 3 really to just look for an all-in if you want to have pressure. So the swap makes sense. Bro already leashing some XP towards Morgan in the mid lane.
It's exactly what we saw from Doran in T1 earlier on today, as Aiming and Beryl with a free lane here on the bottom side, just going to shove this one in. Shiu doing his very best to pick up some minions. And there is a lot of parallels between Game 1 of our previous series and this one. Outside of the fact that Shiu hasn't been able to get the first round of minions and all that experience. As Lucid here towards the bottom side is going to be just stealing away the enemy jungle, one after the other.
Yeah, and then not wanting to put the Jace in a bot to set up for a dive. It's no longer, they changed it, you can't block tower hits with your Pantheon E, which made him so insane at dives, but he's still pretty good at them.
Yep.
And this is where it's a tough decision. Morgan's just going to force him out.
Yeah, so he just dives in. In fact, if a Vault Breaker connects, it could be real dangerous. Shiu has to flash, and they'll take that. And Bro also zoning him off an entire wave of minions.
Yep.
In the meantime, of course, this wave of minions is also going to go down. So as far as the trade is concerned, it's really not a huge deal until plates come into the equation.
Yeah, it definitely, this gives an advantage towards D+'s bot lane because it's only 2 of them getting the XP. They're getting a bit more gold. But it really means his top lane matchup is going to be really advantageous for Morgan. And especially as the Jace, like earlier when we saw it, it was the Cassante having the advantage over Doran on the Jace. And you can't really do that much with it. You're just tankier, right? But yeah. Jace can really apply a lot of pressure in the matchup if he does start snowball and gets ahead, and then still ends up just being really tanky in the later stages.
Well, you can see in the mid lane, Showmaker and Closer just trading farm. Very much looking forward to seeing whether this Swain is going to get more done than the first time we saw it here in the LCK Cup. I believe it was BDD and just wasn't able to get off the ground. The Swain kind of did less than nothing in that match. And I felt like it left us wanting more, you know? Yeah. I feel like you want to see those big demon flares, you know, that big value. But we just didn't get that.
I love the fights where he's just
Oh, well, Showmaker going to get cocooned. There's the charm. The layering is gorgeous as Lucid's going to come in. Showmaker drinking the potion. No, actually hadn't had it because he'd already drank it, but not quite enough damage there, so Showmaker makes it out. Flash now down. Yep,
super close. Lucid coming by, I think, really avoided that being more because I could have seen them maybe flashing in, diving, looking to finish off the kill, but Lucid will ward them away. But a good start. Puts Showmaker on the back foot, allows Closer to push the wave in, and takes away that flash. So just a nice use of the time when you're leaving your 80 carry to 1v1 and get extra XP. Now Morgan could be in. I think he's just dead, honestly.
I think he might be dead, yeah. By might, like that is like he's dead. As Beryl is going to pick up the turret aggro, even throws down the cheeky little Q and survives. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, it is a dead Cassante. As Hype is calculated.
Yep, drink your potions. I'm pretty sure Hype used a biscuit as well there.
Yep.
I was thinking he's going to barrier. Doesn't have barrier this game, so no, the answer would be. But yeah, both teams successfully pulling off their dives, but now I think you just have to go back towards top lane, and we should see normal lanes returning here. Yeah. Overall, you can see bot lane aiming is a bit ahead in terms of gold, but not really that much. But yeah, I think Morgan already taken so much poke here. He tries to clear out the wave, fine, but that means you don't actually have any abilities to use on Beryl. You can just kind of walk up and press W. And here in return, it's just you're against an Elise. It's no matter how well you play it, that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
And the thing is, even if Hype died, it wouldn't be ideal because he'd miss the wave, but he wouldn't execute. So
yeah,
it wouldn't make that much.
Wasn't actually able to touch him. So Morgan back up towards the top lane now. Might actually be able to get some farm, as we can see here, evening things out against Shoes, Cassante. Both of them sitting at 0-1 and 0. So see when they can actually get something going for themselves. It's a tough time being a top laner here in the LCK Cup, I'll tell you that much. As Beryl, he picks the difference between both of them and misses entirely. You love to see it.
Yep. Closing now level 6. This gives a ton of power to mid-jungle 2v2, but then Showmaker hits it a second later. I thought he was a bit further behind from when he got punched in. Apparently not.
Yep.
He's fine. So I think both these champions get an absurd amount of power from that ult. So definitely something to play around. We see Comeback going towards the Grubs, starting them up, but Beryl are moving over in response. I remember, Beryl's level 5, Polo is level 3.
Oh, that's going to be a rough time. As Lucid, let's see whether he can lock down 2 of these. Does manage to get 1 here as Humbuck goes in. The flash out from Lucid. Here is the Demonic Ascension, and Showmaker trying to get work done as the Repel brings Polu up and he makes it out. Still, Showmaker just pushing them all away, and Shiu going to be able to grab his kill as the Elise does go down. Beryl, surprisingly, is really far up in the enemy jungle, but he is not going to be going down this time. There go 2 of the Grubs over to DK. And 2 kills as well. So they're 1 away from a feat of strength, 2 away here for Bro if they can find it.
Yeah, the damage just wasn't there, and they're focusing everything onto the Swain, who's so bulky. Just wasn't really going to work. I think also Polu got kind of unlucky.
Oh, Arrow going to connect here onto Showmaker. He finds some Sith Lightning onto Hype here as the Never Move pulls him back. But Closer with that Orb of Deception is deceiving nobody because we knew exactly what was going to happen there, and he takes down the Swain.
Yeah, good moves, finding an angle. I mean, the thing with Swain is without your ult, you're so much weaker, so it's a good angle to kind of make back what they lost in the fight.
Oh, Q looking for another angle here as they're both just diving forward. Q going to miss on the second time of asking.
This is what I've missed with
Ragdolls. Yeah. Oh my God, aiming the value. Oh, the minion died. What goes up must come down, ladies and gentlemen, and aiming is going to kill the Elise 1v2.
I think Hype might have just trolled Polu a little bit there. Definitely the plan was I'm going to repel out to that minion.
Yeah.
And then the minion was
arrowed.
Yeah, so a bit unfortunate, bit of a lack of communication. Definitely Polu stepping up a bit too far. It feels like him being down XP, you're feeling it, already 0-2-1. Although, if you judge things based on the Beryl book plays,
yeah,
he's got 7 more deaths to go.
Yes. He might be writing that in all chat as well. It's like, Polu, you're doing great, but you need to stick to it. As we have a look at this replay one more time, this is some value of the Swain. We will immediately follow this up with the not so much value of the Swain. But if he can get in the middle of these fights, it does work out.
And you look at the repel from Polu, I think he was trying to go to the Grub, but it was just out of range. So he ends up having to drop down in the middle and flash away immediately. If he could have gone to the Grubs, he probably would have just gotten out. So really unfortunate there. But definitely bad target selection from Bro. This was just Showmaker. He wanted some honey food.
Sometimes you are just not allowed to eat the honey fruit.
And
this is you're not allowed to kill the minions if your Elise needs to get out.
Yeah,
Look,
just
aiming at you. Aiming at you as well.
Just kills them. You did him dirty.
I mean, he did him dirty, but like, Beryl was also coming down. He had no flash. I think he was dead regardless. But still, it was funny.
It was very funny.
All right, there's the Vault Breaker flash. Oh my god, the kitchen sink!
What did he say to them?
I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, layering the CC so we can't press R, very important. But also, what did he say to them?
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll be digging into that to see what kind of insults Showmaker has been throwing around, as we've got a Q connecting onto Hype. Oh god, the poke from this lane. I'd forgotten just how filthy Varus Karma is.
Yeah, it's pretty obnoxious. And Elise just isn't really doing anything to help you out here. Like, Elise, in this matchup, if you can all in, great. If you can't all in, you're just kind of sitting there.
Yeah. And you can't all in.
You definitely cannot all in.
As that is going to be a second feat of strength. So DK really speedrunning that one prior to 10 minutes, even though it's only 2 seconds prior. They will be able to lock that one down.
Yeah, especially since you now need the 3 kills being a lot slower. Feats of strength coming in.
Yeah.
Before, you'd sometimes have them before anyone even had the tier 2 boots, which, funnily enough, is actually the case here. D+ have the feats. Okay, yep. Beryl just bought them. He's like, I'm immediately making the value out of those.
Yep, getting the value. All right, Hex Flash over here from Polu is okay. Shiu decides to go aggressive, all out onto Morgan, but Polu's tanking the turret, sidesteps the Shock Blast. And Polu just misread that entirely.
I'm sorry, but sidesteps? Generous, generous. He definitely dodged it. I'm not sure he had to step anywhere. Some whiffed skill shots from Bro there. The concept, the idea, I like it. The execution a little bit off. So you were doing a good job, though, of trying to drag Morgan on a turret.
Yeah.
But just a Shock Blast was just like, is there a Teemo there we don't see?
I mean, there always is. Everything's separated by Teemos. Is Lucid going to dive forward onto Humbug? As once again, it looks like Bro are just going to be able to get 1 out of the 3, unless Arrow going to be connecting here onto the Pantheon. Demonic Ascension, but they just take down the Spartan Warrior right in front of them. No smite available, but DK is still able to grab one of these grubs. Humbug diving forward, cease and desist into that backline as they're just trying to block it. As aiming, getting a fair few shots through, flashes out eventually, but there goes the Karma, there goes the Swain, and Bro with a gorgeous team fight.
Siwu just played Protect the President for aiming there and saved his life, but it was still really well played by Bro. Initial CC on the Pantheon, not the Swain this time. They wait out the Swain ult, they go for the re-engage. They're playing the comp as they should be, and they're kind of demonstrating why these scores are a bit fake. I want to see this again, because the timing seems so perfect. I mean, it's a good initial play. They get the arrow, and Hype is getting bullied out so often, but his arrows have been so good. They charm the follow-up, they get the kill, they're like, okay, we're out. Morgan even flashes, he just want to keep Showmaker's ult channeled. And then I want to see this, because we see the ult come down on aiming, and like this flash that comes in, and blocks the charm in the last second.
Oh, so sick.
That was crazy. Like, that could have been a lot more dire. But yeah, ends up saving his AD carry. Still a bad fight, 4D+, but the rookie top laner knows who pays the bills or gets paid in this team.
And he stole the crown. Like, that's sitting at the team house. Like, he knows.
He knows who the Gold King is, yeah.
This guy's the Gold King. That's the guy you want to impress, because he will give you the cool presents if it's your birthday. As Shiu now back towards his top side. Closer has been sort of the huge beneficiary of everything so far in this game. 124 CS, more than anyone else on the map outside of said Gold King. But 104 Malignants in hand. Oh, shoot.
It's such an insane game, by the way, for Hype to be 204. And every time we've looked at him, he's like half HP getting bullied by a Varus.
Yeah. This time, not hit by that hail of arrows.
Nice.
Must feel fantastic. He's 32 CS behind, and that's doing more to demonstrate the situation here. Is, of course, close to a 400 gold lead in favor of aiming.
That looks bad, but then if you move your eyes just slightly up towards the mid lane.
Yeah.
Swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, it looks like the... maybe it wasn't BDD. Maybe it was Swain.
Yeah. Still trying to make Swain work. And I think the point you raised in draft, though, is really valid, that Bro can just fire all this CC at a target. It's not like Showmaker can not ult. You kind of have to ult when that happens. But then they just pull away, just disengage.
Yeah.
And you wait out the ult, you start fighting again. It's why I think it would have been better if they had champions like...
Oh, no. We're zooming in. Humbug. Surprise, Showmaker. He is very dead.
Yeah.
And Polo gonna pick up the kill. Not exactly ideal, but they'll take the turret.
Yep, it is. Bit of a struggle street for the Swain. Not giving him a chance to ult, not giving him a chance to heal. And I think that's why Swain into melee champions is really good. Like if there's like a Galio, things like Wukong.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, even in Vi, it's still good, but it's just...
When you can't do anything, it's...
Yeah, it's a feast of famine pick. You're 0-4. You're going to die in one rotation, and then you don't get to do anything. Or you ult early, so you don't die, and then they just run away.
Well, they're praying for a mid-game that is not with a whole lot of action. I believe, as now, aiming, walking towards Hype. He went the Edge of Night first. Really does not want to take any of this CC.
Yeah.
It's pretty free-flowing on the side of Bro.
It's good against, like, Cuckoo, and it's good against arrows.
Oh,
Deceptively... No. Oh, he's still
Oh, no. Yeah, she is in a bunch of trouble, but Lucid comes down as well. Morgan going to be taken out. The arrow sails by majestically. And Bro just lose their top laner. And Closer now also might find himself out of position. His teleport, awkward position there, but does have to use the ult, but uses it to get out of the way of the ultimate, flying at him from aiming. So trades 1-for-1 as far as that is concerned. And now DK can get themselves this fiery dragon.
This is a great strategy from D+. So what they do is they fight around the 4 people on the bot side of the map and just don't have Showmaker there.
Yeah, and then Showmaker can try and get the heck back into the game.
Yeah, and ultimately you're not relying on this slightly weak Swain. Well, 181 gold that was, by the way.
I'm glad we saw that, and he's just giggling about it as well. He's like, "Vi no ult," after having a laugh.
At least no Ignite as well, by the way, you know?
There we go.
Always gonna look at the positives. But yeah, I mean, he's just so tanky. The ult comes in from Lucid, instantly just bursts down his Jace. He's not that tanky yet. The arrow, unfortunately, a little bit late. Rare miss from Hype on that one. And they end up getting the dragon, specifically because they get that advantageous play.
Ooh, Ox. We haven't seen this Chemtech Soul in quite some time.
I've been trying hard.
I know.
But we were in the replay, so...
Yeah, couldn't pay attention. It's not your fault.
I was watching the replay, you know?
I'm kind of into it. I wouldn't mind a Mega Blast Cone or 2 this game, you know? So that's what we're going to be doing.
Brendan Valdez would be so upset with
I know, he's
now.
fuming somewhere. Hopefully he can just look at Bryce and feel happy.
Yep.
Might be able to do that. All right, the 2 archers here in this mid lane. It's like I'm watching Brave. Absolutely fantastic.
The thing is, this Chemtech Soul is so bad for D+, because you're in a situation where you're down in gold, but you have these 2 early dragons, and you low-rolled quite hard. I will say, as far as compositions go, you do have quite a durable composition. Swain and Cassante do well with it. You also have a decent amount of shielding from the Karma, healing from the Swain. So it's not like the worst. It's like, as far as comps go with Chemtech Soul, it's a decent comp to have Chemtech Soul, but it is definitely still a weak soul. And D+ were definitely hoping for like a Hex deck or something that would make their early investment pay off a lot more.
And also, I mean, I think the main thing that they want is for Showmaker to not be 60 CS behind as well as 0-4. It's all just bad news. 2.3k, the gold lead. The good news is the Gold King is doing what he's supposed to, which is having gold. So he's got 2 items now complete.
I think that's the thing is, this Bro lineup, Close and Handback, I feel like have been such a shining light. Oh yeah. The aggression these 2 have, the confidence, and despite being a new pairing, playing so well together. And especially because this is something we really praise Lucid and Showmaker for when they started being a duos. They looked really good together. A lot of games that D+ won on the back of these 2, and now they're going up against the new kids.
Is Cassante broken enough? I guess we're not going to find out, because Bro thinks he absolutely is.
He is so tanky right now. There's a lot of armor shred on Bro, to be fair, with the Black Cleaver from Jace, and there's a lot of natural armor shred from both Jace and Vi, but I don't think it's enough.
No.
I just think you kind of let him do his thing, and hopefully you can just kill everyone else and hope he doesn't kill your team.
And that's what's sort of happening here. Having a look at the gold, about 2.5k. It's a good lead for Bro, and I feel like their composition will be able to snowball this quite nicely, especially with the Siege that they have available. Siege is something that we don't talk about as much these days, because I feel like it's a lot of dive and poke and setup and stuff like that we've been seeing. But this composition sieges really well. Arrow going to be flying through, and that interrupts the back on this Cassante, and now maybe they can kill him. He doesn't find the Q. As now looking to get on top of Humbug, who just says, nah, I'm going to Vault Breaker you. Polu comes in just to make sure that they're going to go down, and she will fall.
Hype's arrows has just been so good.
Yeah, man.
Zero unfortunately not using the W to block it out, but there was so much CC to come in. Maybe you could have done that, you would have just got been chased down afterwards. Handback did mess up the Vault Breaker a little bit over the wall. But regardless, some good picks, just helping to extend that goal lead for Bro, and this should lead to a tower as well.
Yeah.
Be the first, but
Bro's going to be pushing in. And it looks like the Kesper Cup champions not wanting to let DK forget about how that one went. As Closer going to help lock that one down. 1-0-5 now on this Ari. He is definitely the scariest on the map right now, but Humbug as well, 3-0-3. This Vi, very scary. 2 items now complete. I mean, Lucid's only got like a toy sword and a rock in comparison to the Black Cleaver.
And especially, I feel like Vi is one of these champions where when you get fed, like she's still valuable even if she's not, but when you get fed, she just becomes kind of obnoxious, spamming her Q and just not taking damage. And Pantheon, no one has ever picked Pantheon and think, don't worry guys, said I'm going to scale on the late game. That has never been a thing ever.
No.
Even before the rework at any iteration of Pantheon, so not ideal. I don't think Lucis had a bad game as such, but it just, you know, jungles rely a lot on mid, and
mid isn't here.
Mid's a little boom at the moment.
Yeah.
Not mentally, you know.
Showmaker
still vibing, still having a good time. Just a little bit of scoreline damage.
I would say the scoreline damage is a very nice way of...
A little bit of 60 CS damage.
It's a fair bit of, well, a lack of CS damage, I guess. But, yeah, the mental taking a hit. Shock Blast going to be avoided there very nicely from DK. As Humbug looking to take the first quad Chemtech Soul on the cards.
Some big shields. You know, that's kind of the tragic thing. I mean, sorry, that's the good thing, rather, about the tank Jace is that you don't need to hit your Shock Blast, you know? It doesn't matter if you hit. It wasn't doing damage anyway.
Yeah, they barely do anything.
Oh, look, we have a little graphic. Just if you guys
500 away from being Gold King aiming.
If you weren't aware, by the way, Close is very far ahead of Showmaker.
Yeah.
if you weren't able, maybe you're in a neck brace and you can't look down.
Arrow. Otacon. That was a scouting arrow. The E does that as well, but may have not had the charges.
If you have a neck brace, or maybe the bottom of your screen is broken, like you spilled something.
Got it.
You can now see to the left that there is a massive gold between Closer and Showmaker.
And it's just not really getting better.
No.
I mean, I guess it's still 60 as far as CS. So
yeah,
let's keep it at 60, Showmaker. Let's
eventually, if we just keep going, everyone will get full build, you know? So
there you go.
Item advantages aren't real when everyone has their items. And, you know, you'll have a Poke Varus and a Pantheon. Notorious late game. I mean, to be fair, Poke Varus can still do some work late game. We saw him slay a dragon that one time.
We did. We've also seen, you know, players like Viper use it in the ultra late game to, like, solo win games.
Yeah,
that has happened.
It's still good. And there's not that many tanky people on Bro. So it's not like the...
Oh, we are Otacon.
Oh, this is sneaky. This is very... they did see the spider, though. And they did see the cocoon. And then they saw the ward. So I don't think D+.
I think D+ are clued in, ladies and gents. As Chains of Corruption and Humbug was just standing there, ladies and gentlemen. He will get stunned up and then poked in the back. And that is Lucid to lock that one down. No jungler, no chance of stopping this Otacon unless they all group up and try and go 4v5. But that will be a big old gamble. Arrow going to connect there as it lands onto Lucid. He does get freed as now Closer dancing around the fight. They take down the Cassante to start this one off. Can Bro do it? That is going to be Otacon taken, and now they can take a very short trip home. Morgan surviving for so long, aiming to lock down the kill, and very quickly they take 400 gold from all of them.
Yeah, that doesn't feel nearly as good.
200 gold from all of them.
It doesn't feel nearly as good as it used to with the amount of gold that Bro actually get from those kills. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say this was bad for D+. The first pick is obviously initially great, and they get the Otacon. Well, they had no right to do so with this deficit, but they're not going to get any value from the buff.
Well, apart from the fact that they didn't get aced immediately afterwards.
Sure, but it's not like they can do anything with it. So if we actually keep track of the gold a little bit, the arrow on Lucid is fine. We see we're doing a good job of blocking off, but Closer's damage is so absurd.
God, it's insane.
And the thing is, they get him before the Atacam buff, so they got full gold for him, and then they're just picking up extra gold here. And sure, on the other side, you do see like a bit of gold in return from those kills, but I think Bro are actually pretty happy with how that panned out.
100%.
And the thing is, as much as Atacam's really great to get if you're ahead, you know, D+ no longer have that as like a comeback option.
Oh, good sidestep there.
Nice.
As Arrow's still going to connect. Humbug making his way over. Not actually over-committing to this one as, Polu almost just explodes as into the backline goes the Vi. Maybe a bit too far, but there's so much damage, my God! The Bros just tidy it up. Beryl also not going to be safe. One more charge left in that Spirit Rush. As you can see, Dagon going absolutely ballistic here as they push up once again. The inner turret going to be taken down, and the inhibitor turret as well should follow suit. DK, can they defend? It looks like they're not going to defend this inhibitor. Not going to be losing the game right now. 6,000 gold though, and with this composition that scales a little bit better than their opponents, looking real good.
I love the patience here. You know, they're threatening constantly, and D+ like trying to position to help. And they just keep throwing skill shots. Aiming moves back because he thinks he's got the Elise. Rappel comes through. Ult from Handback is beautiful. And then Morgan, he's just on top of them.
Yeah.
He's just driving forwards. It's so nice to see. It's not just that like this Bro team are playing well, but the way they play, the shared aggression is something that I feel like this team, this organization has been missing for a while.
It's the coordination.
Yeah.
And this is something that Bro has been able to do in the early stages of games.
I believe it's
so often.
It's Bro ordination. Man.
Sorry, yes. Yeah. And the Brositivity and all of that stuff. As DK back out onto the map somewhat, as Chains of Corruption going to connect. That's going to grab a cleanse, but the arrow comes in. Lucid now looking to switch targets here as they dive towards Humbug. Never move is good, and they take down the jungler. As DK, they've taken down the jungler before. Charm out from Closer doesn't really connect. He's completely oomed, which is not so great. Now without an ultimate available, wants to use that next charge, does so. True damage working very well.
Bro definitely weren't ready for a fight there, and D+ aren't confident enough to go for the Baron on the back of this. They will pick up the Dragon, but it's Chemtech, so you know, it's a small consolation prize. And honestly, Bro can just take that top tier 2 probably, get some vision around Baron, reset, and it's still a good play for D+, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to change that much in this game.
Yeah, and you know, they invested a whole bunch of ultimates as well, and things like that as Hype is starting the Baron.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing is the fact that they got Hype Summoners. If they can capitalize on that, that's pretty big. But yeah, they're just starting up. Remember, this is a Bloodthirster Ashe and staying off the Baron, and actually Elise does a fair bit of damage to Baron, even if she doesn't have like jungle items or anything.
Well, they get the vision of it. They're going to stick to it by the looks of things. Morgan diving on in as well. This is certainly dangerous, as Lucid going to move forward. He can get into the pit. Can he get the steal? That's the question. No, they just burst him down. The all-out brings the jungler out of the pit. It's down to 400 as he flashes back in. Closer goes golden, but he's going to get knocked back here. Shiu, can you take down the mid lane? The answer's no, not quite. And the Baron is secured by the Bros.
Just the confidence, you know, you have a player that goes badly, you lose your jungler, you bounce back. Hype's like, guys, we can just Baron. And they do. And it works. They managed to deal with this well, and it's once again this team knowing exactly how to play out the encounter. We see this play ends up quite messy. Handback kind of peel for his AD carry, does end up paying for it. And as you said, this is not a time where Closer want to be TPing in, doing all this matter. But here, the patience. They know Lucian's coming in. They're not scared of him. The Charm and the Seawood does a great job of mitigating his pressure. He drags Handback out the pit, and Handback's like, no, I'm securing it.
Yep. And Aiming could have actually had the most, you know, single hit damage, right, with an empowered Q. And so flashing back in for that, definitely worthwhile here for Humbug. As Bro, I mean, Vision of Empire doing absolutely nothing here for Showmaker, and they're going to use this Baron buff to push in this bottom lane, mid lane. I mean, it's still down for another minute and a half. And so DK, if they weren't on the ropes before, they certainly are now.
Yeah, and This Swain is just so useless.
Oh, so useless.
Closer is so strong. Level 16 as well, so max rank in the ultimate means the cooldown super short, but also just doing a lot of extra damage. Shock Blast, you would like to hit those on aiming to get the spell shield, but it's not that important.
Oh, Arrow going to be soaked here by the Swain. Maybe that's a good use.
That's your job.
Yeah, I feel like it's not even Demonic Ascension anymore. It's like Demonic Step Ladder. Like, it only gets up one little bit.
Yeah.
We're not really ascending.
And not one of those tall step ladders. Like
No.
Yeah. Like the ones you have when you...
It's the one your Gran uses to reach the jam that's on the top shelf of the cupboard.
Yeah. And Showmaker unfortunately stumbled and fell.
Yeah, well, cease and desist into the backline, aiming taken out of the fight as Lucid soaking damage pretty well. And that Demonic Step Ladder is kind of doing things. Shiu's going to be able to take one kill in this fight as Polu dives up and then he comes back down. They take down the Varus very comfortably in this. CC layering one after the other. The Bros will just casually waltz towards a Game 1 victory in this best of 3. Blue side is strong, but man, it was a dominant one here in Game 1.
And the thing is, despite their scoreline in groups, after the performance against Gen G, and regardless of how the series goes, the performance now, Bro are looking like a real terror.
Oh, yeah.
A real threat. There was a point during which, after the first week, it was like, are Bro going to make it to the next stage?
Yeah.
They lost against some of the weaker teams, and it looked like they might end up bottom of the group. Now, you're hoping, I mean, it's too late now, but you're hoping we do not want to face this team. You were wishing they had gone out, because Bro are taking names. Really good performance against D+, a couple of hiccups, but against a team of this caliber, it's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Brotax is definitely getting their money's worth.
Absolutely. We saw it flying in. Of course, we do need more Brotax for Game 2 as well, especially because the look on Bengi and Hachani's faces, like Hachani was feeling a little bit rough about it, but Bengi was still laughing, still happy. They know that it's the best of 3. You know, going into Game 2, you'll have blue side. They might be able to turn things around, and then Game 3 is kind of a free-for-all. It's all about who has the deeper pockets.
And
so
you know,
this game... An amazing one for Bro, but they're not out of the woods.
100%. But I feel like LCK has so much been about the big 4 mid laners. Everyone always talks about them. Closer,
so good.
Honestly, outperformed Chovy when they played Gen G. I mean, it wasn't Swain, but just outperformed Showmaker. That he is looking really good and trying to break into that top 4.
Well, let's see whether he can do it with a win after this. It is going to be a short break for us. The Space is going to break it down with a very happy Dagon, and then we will have Game 2.
바로 스킵 받았고 이번에 우리 들어간다. 주현이 형 봐도
갈 거야. 나 찍는다. 간다. 아, 마이.
사업계면서 앞라인 봐봐. 스윙.
야, 다 잡아봐.
딴데 받았냐 이거?
야, 바로 노플이야. 바로 나이스. 내용 지렸고.
나이스. 앨리스 하는 게 맞는 것 같은데 이거?
그래, 앨리스 하니까.
이거야.
신궁 변정은 뭔데?
신궁
변정은 공이 다 왔는데? 야, 좋았다. 신궁 변정은 들리는데?
자 해보자.
형이야.
As we start off the ban phase, the Aurora taken away from Closer makes a whole lot of sense. He's played that the most so far and has looked great on it. as they are really making sure Closer is not playing all of his champions.
Guys, who do you think was the problem last game?
Yeah,
Don't say it, just spell it out in the bans.
Well, it's currently
I think that's how Showmaker felt in the last game playing.
I would agree. They're spelling it perfectly in my recollection. Oh, what's the last one going to be here? As we're waiting, like Akali, just ban Aurelia. She was nerfed on this patch, but that was Closer's one trick coming into the LCK. Humbux Lee Sin.
A lot of respect.
That's a worthy one.
Yeah, and then presumably Clister, yep, and now D+.
So they've spelled sack, and you've got OW on the side of D+. Did that spell it out for you?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Nidalee going to be locked in first here for Lucid. He's a pretty good Nidalee player, but I think this like being face up does give Bro a bunch of information. See what they're going to put together. And I like what the space was talking about when it comes to they're happy with D+ cooking. Some of the problems are like if you really get it wrong, right? If you really burn it, then it can explode in the oven, and that can cause damage to the oven. We'll just have to see how the oven is as double yordles picked up here.
Yordle combo. One of these yordles I feel differently than the other one. I'll say that much.
I feel like it's a true dichotomy here as far as how Orcs is feeling about these two yordles.
Yeah. I will also say that, you know, playing Ziggs into Nidalee has a decent amount of sustain. Can make your poke a fair bit less effective. Kai'Sa going to come out as well. Decent amount of poke from D+2 between those two champions.
I'm feeling it could be a Yone angle, but it's not going to happen as the Poppy is locked in. It's extremely face up. Could also be a Poppy heading towards a top side of the map, I guess. But that is a Maokai. The immediate response to this Poppy, kind of gorgeous. I love this because Twisted Advance, of course, ignores the Steadfast Presence. You can really get the Maokai in there.
Yeah, and the thing is that a lot of support champions or just engaged champions are shut down by Poppy, but as you said, Maokai really one that isn't. But also, like, you're playing Kai'Sa and you're playing Nidalee, champions that once set up, one engage. You're only engaged so far as a Poppy, who's not that good at sort of locking people down. Like, if they're against a wall, that is the main condition you need, which is, in a lot of situations, they won't be against the wall, especially when there's a Poppy on the team.
No, it's going to be top lane Nidalee. They're going to lock Jarvan and Nivea so that they can do double walls, and there can be walls everywhere. Beryl can stun them all over the place. Doesn't matter.
I could believe it.
Trundle, you know? There's a lot of construction that can go on Summoner's Rift.
I like the Yone ban a lot. We've seen it paired with Nidalee a bunch, but mostly just because it provides an extra way of like engaging the setup. Denying that one, I think, pretty important. Yone ban coming out from the side of D+ Kia. Want to limit those engage options, maybe force Brianna into a situation where pick that doesn't do well into Poppy. You know, you really want to play Rel.
Set.
Yeah, denying that one away from Showmaker, presumably.
That's one that Showmaker has played so far. He's played, you know, all sorts of things. Like, he's played Zillion and Zoe before as well. But the set certainly was a victory. Did look pretty good. So limiting his physical options in the mid lane, which is sort of aim of the game right now. As the Jax to be taken away from Morgan. His Renekton is available.
You know, honestly, I feel like the comp could maybe work for... They feel forced to go into the Rel. I mean, it's not unplayable into the Poppy. You can, like, Q and then dash in, but I don't like it. Yeah, picking the...
Because Renekton, it's also a pick away from Showmaker. Because they want to have synergy with the Nidalee. They need a physical option for mid. There's not that many. As Gangplank being considered... Likely the Shio option does give them some scaling and also adds to their engage, right? You put the Cannon Barrage down, as you're not going to be picking that. That's a Tryndamere. That's a lock-in.
Tryndamere mid into the Corki. This is certainly a matchup back when Tryndamere was first on played mid lane. This is sort of matchup we'd thrive on, just being able to get an advantage and dive.
I'm also pretty sure Showmaker has played this in the past. I don't know how recently. I'm going to check it out now.
I'm going to be completely honest. This is the sort of composition you end up with in solo queue from D+ Kia.
Yeah. Okay, guess the win rate. And guess how many times he's died.
Oh. I mean, his ult stops him from dying.
Yeah.
How many games has he played it?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Okay, let's say, has he played it 4 times?
No, well, I said I'm not going to tell you that.
Oh.
You have to just guess a
deaths
percentage.
and win rate.
Yeah.
Win rate, 37.
Uh-huh.
Deaths, 9.
Win rate, 100%, deaths, 0.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't believe. Apologies, Showmaker.
I won't tell you the sample size. It's one game.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. One good game. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Alistar value here is massive. Alistar can struggle in the Poppy, but also just good at disengaging things like the Tryndamere. I feel like it's a pretty straightforward front to back for Bro. A lot of tools to engage, a lot of poke, a lot of late game power. And D Plus are just like, let's just win lane, you know? Let's just win lane, and then we'll win lane, and yeah.
And then maybe we'll see what happens as the game goes later, but we'll think about that when we get there. And they're all about crossing bridges when you cannot cross a bridge if you're not at the bridge.
Exactly, it's future D Plus problem.
Exactly. And we all know that. They're procrastinators. These are pro gamers and procrastinators at the same time. But that's a Tryndamere mid. He's already brought out the Zillion, the Set, the Zoe. He's just a trendsetter. This Showmaker guy in the mid lane, and we'll see how he's going to do. Can he once again hit that 100% win rate on that trend and bring us to a game 3? We'll have to find out as we jump into the game. All right, bro fans, you know what to do in the chat. If we do not get enough extra bro tax, we may not be able to fund this next victory. So highlight those chats and get them in there.
Yep.
If you want bro to win.
Very important.
But maybe you just want more games. And honestly, that feels like the Giga Chat attitude. And so maybe just say bro tax, or say like DK tax if you just want more games.
Whoa.
Maybe is that crazy? Is that like not a bro thing to do? Because I feel like bros, like the Giga Chats are just givers. You know, they just want to give more to the world.
You pay the bro tax, bro decides what happens. If bro wants more games, that's within their rights. But
yeah, right. So bro has all of the decision-making power.
Yes.
And the bros may just give us a third game.
Yes, they decide to be generous, okay?
Although I think right now their draft is looking really good. Orcs.
Yeah, it is looking very good, I would say. You know, we normally talk about Nidalee being a champion, also Kai'Sa being a champion where you want setup, you want someone to lead the charge to provide that CC. If they're standing against a wall and Siwu is in Mega, they have setup.
Yep.
Otherwise, nothing.
Yeah, it's rough.
These are two very, very strict conditions.
We have to remember as well, Shiu is a great Gnar player in general. Was certainly dominating on that one in the in Challenger, as you know, as we know, almost all top laners. It's like junglers and saying, "Oh, he was a Lee Sin player." It's sort of like saying he's a jungler. Same really can be said for top, but Shiu has found a lot of success on this champion as well. Morgan is the Renekton guy though.
Yep.
So we'll see how he goes. Right now, aiming in barrel with a lot of control of this bottom lane, and it feels like so much comfort. Like, Showmaker is on a crazy pick. Beryl is on a champion that can completely warp games. It's aiming's Kai'Sa, one of his best champions of all time. And Lucid on a carry in the jungle.
Yeah, I'm surprised Closer didn't go like a defensive summoner, because one of the adaptations we saw when it was like Tryndamere versus Corki is Corki would also go a defensive summoner like Exhaust to kind of limit the... Because at level 6, sometimes you can just get dove by the Tryndamere and there's not much you can do, and the Exhaust can really save you there, so... Didn't end up going for that.
Yep.
Obviously, early levels, you're kind of okay until he spins on you.
Yeah. And Spear not going to connect, but gets the Valkyrie out. It's a bunch of mana.
Man, if only someone had some CC. Just like a crumb of CC.
Well, we'll just have to see whether Lucid can do his best Canyon impression, because he's not going to get help from his lane, so he has to just abuse the enemy jungler. Yeah. And of course, Maokai not the fastest and not the most battle-ready earlier on, and so definite possibility. And I don't know what you're talking about. The setup is there from Showmaker. If they have their back to him, he can make them go a bit slower, okay? I will have you know. And there'll also be an adorable chicken above their head.
Yeah. That's all you need, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe it's not all you need, but it helps.
We're getting even more conditions. Gnar needs to be Mega, they need to be against a wall, and they need to have the back stinned.
Yeah, there we go.
And the comp has CC.
Or Lucid just hits it. You know? Maybe that happens.
It could happen.
Yeah. Not likely. Well, there's a wall, as Hype is in a little bit of trouble here. Humbug was coming over for a potential dive. Aiming is low.
Yeah, Hype resisted the urge to just immediately satchel away and get down aggro. I wouldn't be speaking from experience.
No. Never happened to a player like Daniel Orcs Harrison. As Showmaker used that spinning strike the wrong direction and is now possibly gonna. Never mind. He's just not going to do anything. Presses
powerful walking.
Yeah, that is some. Whoa. Never would have thought that that would be the true counter to that that little gank attempt. But Humbug, the lumbering tree. The Ents are not known for their speed. Beryl's not known for his decision making. As he is now going to also do the same thing. He's flashing. Polo's flashing.
He actually traded advantageously.
Beryl's 1v1ing. The Buckler shield does absolutely nothing. Hype's going to move on over. The Ignite goes down. Void Seeker comes through. Beryl's dead.
You wouldn't get it.
And Beryl's dead.
You wouldn't get it. you wouldn't get it. Okay.
Can you decipher it for me?
This guy's a 2-time world champion. Okay, you just you wouldn't get it. Okay.
No, it's my bad.
You have to trust in the process.
Okay. He gave aiming a free lane. Am I right?
He gave him speed.
I want a slow motion replay. Because we need to get to the bottom of it.
God, I wish you had it. We need the voice comms. I didn't know what he said before. He said, you're aiming. Watch this.
All right, here's the replay. Here's the replay. Okay, break it down for me, Ox. Really on the same page. You can see Beryl goes in and aiming channels his back.
Yeah. Well, he's just trying to. He's like, you need to push the wave. Here's how we're gonna let you push the wave. He unlocked Hex Splash. Sorted. I guess.
Yeah.
It was a tempo play.
I think I get it as much as you do now.
Yeah. It was a tempo play. Okay. He's playing to get his AD carry a faster reset so they can play for grubs.
Got it. Well, there is some vision. Beryl throwing bucklers. Spear narrowly missing there as the Hextech Minefield is going to try and block the entrance. Beryl going to get flashed on by Morgan. Hepa pulverized and Beryl's in the blender and will be taken down. Can they get more is the question though. As Shu, really good Naba. Morgan in trouble. They're diving in. Shu actually not activating the Mega Nard just yet as the wallop connects onto Humbug. They do manage to get one of these grubs as Showmaker is going ballistic. The ultimate's available. And now Hype in the back of this pit really going to struggle. But he does have that satchel in place. And Undying Rage comes down, triple for the Tryndamere. This is what Beryl was looking for, I guess, in that play earlier on. As aiming wants to kill Closer. Closer wants his plane to drive faster as Beryl doesn't get the heroic charge, but he does get the buckler because that one's targeted. Aiming not interested in what Beryl's doing once again, and I don't blame him.
I got it, okay? So Beryl wanted to create space for his team, right?
Got it.
So he burned his flash, but he needs them to know his flash is down.
Got it.
So because his flash is down, Morgan engages on him. They use every bit of CC on him as he's flashless, and that frees up Showmaker to take over the fight.
See, this is the thing. This is the thing. You're going to think it's crazy if you're not on the same level. I understand. Shu finds a great angle here. This is where Tryndamere thrives. Like, could you imagine a better Tryndamere angle than everyone's incredibly low and you haven't pressed R yet?
Yes, I will also say, in terms of the amount of CC you need to use on a level 4 Poppy, all of it.
It's not about that,
probably not, you know, because they use the stun from Morgan, the combo from Polu, then they use the
I feel like you're detracting from the magic.
Yeah, but it's mind games, you know?
And it's success.
It works. It works.
Well, now we've got a killing spree Tryndamere situation.
Yeah, that's a problem. Not sure who's going to deal with him in the side lane.
Well, we'll have to find out a little bit later. We're all about bridges that are actually approached being the things that we're focusing on. As Polu taking a bit of damage here. Humbug clearing out a control ward. As he also gets a free trip towards his turret and dances away from the brambles. Humbug's like, wait, don't go away. I want to kill you. And he says, no, I prefer that not to happen.
I hate those sort of ganks that junglers do, where they know they're not going to kill you. You know they're not going to kill you, but they just come in and chunk you out and be annoying.
Yeah.
Nidalee is so... When Nidalee comes in lane and just autos you a few times with red buff, grinds my gears.
Yeah. Well, it's currently grinding Closer's gears, and he has those because he has a plane. There are gears.
Valid.
So, yeah. That's
being
canon.
ground.
That is canon. Some ground gears. Someone who doesn't have ground gears is Beryl, who's chilling out here towards the top side of the map. Let's see whether he goes in aggressively once more. Showmaker just eats his Q and is going to be able to grab himself a plate.
Yeah, Closer's at least able to clear the way pretty quickly for now and mitigate pressure coming out.
This is a wacky series. I don't know what's... Like, imagine if we get to Game 3. Like, what's going to happen there? How do they top this?
I'm not ready for it yet. That's for future us to work out. Similar to how...
Oh, yeah, the bridges thing!
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it all comes round, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Shiu trying to avoid these bouncing bombs.
Yep. Little switch up to have the Gnar Poppy duo lane, and then just let aiming solo farm.
More Yordles, as Hype is going to take a bit of damage here. That Pulverize was weird, not sure what that was about, but the Satchel is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Hype is going to disengage.
Defensive Satchel, a lot of value. Yeah, so some interesting lane assignments. Trying to get some solo XP for aiming, but he's still kind of about even to Hype. Hype on the Hextech Alternator first.
Huh.
Not something we commonly see.
It's a Shadow Flame Rush. Oh my god, Dash Cannon Ziggs? Could you imagine Battle Ziggs?
Well, here's the thing, right? You know, we saw aiming go Blackfire Torch Ziggs, and I incorrectly called it Deathfire Grasp.
Aha.
They look similar.
Whoa, Deathfire Grasp would be sick. You'd always be in range for that as Ziggs.
Exactly, and if you were playing Deathfire Grasp, it would probably, in the modern era, it'd build at a Hextech Alternator. You gotta...
That's true, but you also should have a Dash Cannon if you're going to use the Deathfire Grasp.
Close the distance with a Rocket Belt, Deathfire Grasp them, Satchel them into you.
And Deathfire Grasp them before the rockets land so you can maximize the damage from the amp of the Deathfire Grasp. Oh god, that'd be gorgeous. Let's focus on this fight potentially down towards the bottom side as Beryl probably going to be denied this little engage moment. This is awkward though because now the tree is smashed into a wall. The double knockup from the ulti here. Short channel just to keep them in place is aiming. Killer Instinct, and it's going to be the Buckler wielder that takes them down. And now Polo trying to play defense. Will be able to pull 3 and get away, but that is still the pick successful for DK. As Lucid getting a bit of his own medicine here as Hype makes his life a bit frustrating. And it's Showmaker versus Morgan here towards the top side. Wow, that is an old matchup. Renekton versus Tryndamere. This reminds me of solo queue in 2013.
Yeah, big throwback, you know. Has been a while since we've seen that sort of thing. But not been a while since we've seen a little bit of over-aggression coming out from Pro there, trying to make the play happen. Counter gangs there from D+, aiming there to clean up. You can tell very quickly they realize this is a bad idea. The ult from Handback is a lot to kind of save the play, but unfortunately he's not able to get out, doesn't have flash.
And one of the big things here is that aiming doesn't get the kill. I actually think that if aiming gets a lot of kills in this early game, he will be really, really scary to deal with.
But it's Barrel's kills.
It's Barrel's kill, so we understand that that is...
He's trying to fix his KDA a little bit.
Yeah. Well, he does, you know.
Barrel just wants to be involved. He wants to be all the kills, all the deaths.
And right now, he is half of the deaths and a quarter of the kills. So honestly, not a great effort thus far.
Hey, there's 5 people, right? For support, he's doing a...
Hey, true.
His best.
Yeah. But I think Showmaker is the one with the big target on his back. Right now, not actually ahead by that much, even though he does have a killing spree's worth of kills. Closer is 1-0-1, also has a lot of farm. Shiu trying to keep him at bay right now. But we'll see whether Closer can be one of the players that manages to escape the Corki curse. We have seen a few people do it, and more recently than not, he has been finding some wins. But it was a tough champion to make work in the early phase of the LCK Cup.
Yeah, Hype's got his Luden's completed, good amount of poke. Did go the tier for the extra mana early as well. Kind of why he can afford to go Hextech Alternate before Lost Chapter. Oh, Polo could be... he's okay.
I mean, Barrel's... Yeah.
These are some decent spikes though. Triforce coming through, Luden's coming through. A lot of one-item spikes across the board. People setting up around Dragon. It is a mountain. I think we had this last game where it was Infernal Mountain and then Chemtech. So like...
Are you saying that it might happen again?
Happen again.
Well, it could be first Heartblood going over to Morgan as well, as we managed to get a feat of strength.
It happens again.
Oh, gorgeous.
I'm nothing if not consistent.
I know, it's beautiful. And closing out, taking a bit of damage here, as we do have the Stride Breaker done for Showmaker. Able to get in there, spin around an extra time. Shu going to look to try and defend this, keep those feats of strength competitive.
And you know, once again, D+ kind of have a composition that's decent with Chemtech. You have the healing from Lucid.
Ooh, there's the wallop. The Gnar pushes him back as, oh no, doesn't hit the wall, and Hype's able to flash. Still, Keeper's Verdict going to get them out of there, and Beryl not taking as much as Bro would have liked from that Mega Inferno Bomb. Now that's on cooldown. Now Humbug is very low. DK could get something done up here. Showmaker is just pushing. This is, yeah, this is what Tryndamere does, guys. He sits in side lane and he go hit turret.
That's his job. And Bro gonna have to figure out ways to match him. I think, to be fair, Morgan is strong enough that you shouldn't just be able to dive him anytime soon. So just has to be there and wave clear, which obviously means he's not there for the fight, but I think he can live with that. Also, Showmaker no TP, so you don't have to worry too much about that. And that really is one of the limiting factors for D+, is when you get to team fights late game, is Showmaker going to be there?
Well, I'm wagering a probably not on that one.
Yeah.
And I also don't know whether that's the worst decision for D+ to make as well. We'll just have to see whether they have enough wave clear to keep their turrets alive if that does indeed happen.
I mean, they have a Zig. One of the things with Ziggs as well, when you have like a split pusher, you can just ult a wave.
Yeah.
And you have so much wave clear that, like, yes, Showmaker is going to be a threat in the side lane, but Ziggs is one of the best champions at just eliminating that threat.
And Showmaker should probably be just, you know, zombie pushing as this game continues. Currently level 11 as well, so a bit more duration on that Undying Rage is going to be pretty important if he does ever actually, you know, contribute to a team fight. Doesn't have teleport, which helps with the whole I'm not going to be there scenario. At least he's honest about it.
Yeah, and Morgan's just kind of fighting the wave and not him.
Yeah. And the wave doesn't do too much to Showmaker either. So he is extending his gold lead that he does have by trying to catch up to close here.
But what a chaotic early game. It has kind of slowed down a fair bit.
Yeah.
Both teams like weighing each other up. I think Bro pretty happy with just leading into the late game with this one.
Yep, and I think it's a little bit like the Chemtech hangover. You know, like the dragon goes down, everyone's amped up, they're like ready to Hextech people.
The flower's right there.
Oh no.
Why wouldn't you take it? That's for your whole team.
I've seen a lot of this.
He's got places to be, I guess.
Well, we're looking to kill a turret.
Closer, notoriously not a romantic guy. He doesn't care about the flowers.
Yeah, and this is going to be feats of strength as well for Bro, as they do just overload the bottom side of the map. They are going to be able to take this one down, and so that is some upgraded shoes that they put together for themselves, as Closer is... Oh, yeah, he's dead. Thrown into the wall and mashed into a pulp. That is going to be the kill. They decide that they will let the Lord live for now. And meanwhile, Closer's dead.
Two conditions. Mega Gnar, an extra wall, and D+ are making those conditions work.
Yeah, they really are.
They're finding the angles. You know, they got Hype's flash with it. Now they get Closer with it. I think Closer had to flash out from the Poppy there, but held it. Was thinking he could wait it out.
Yeah. So was there an extra kill that happened at some point on the map, or did I just lose my mind for a moment? Humbug's going to come on over and stop Showmaker from taking this, and he's going to get the good old Teemo thumbs up. Showmaker does like to put down. And the answer to my question was no, I'm just insane. As Slice and Dice going to be declined there, as why was Beryl there?
Why? I think you can just say, why was Beryl?
True, very true. But that was just, it was comical in the timing. House going to come on through there to clear out the rest of the wave as the Trinity Force Gnar goes on. Yeah. So Closer was dead because he was the one that just died and I commentated it. So my brain is suffering just a little.
Yeah, he needed a flash there, I think is my... If he wanted to be in his flash.
나이스. 야, 따면 이긴다. 따면 공승. 나이스.
Yep.
나이스.
Nice. He's like, if you kill him, it's a free win. That's what he said. And Showmaker... Yeah, he's like, top demolition and GG. Showmaker is having a really good day by the looks of things.
He's vibing.
He's really, really having a good time.
He's got like beaten up on Swain, and then it's just like, yeah, time to play Tryndamere. I'm having a good time.
Did he go back and just build quick blades?
Oh man, wait, I think Closer... Yeah, had to flash. That's the replay, but it's so scary now when you're playing into the Nobori quick blade Tryndamere. He doesn't have any cooldown.
He spins a lot.
Yeah. He's Beyblade Tryndamere.
Man, imagine if AP Tryndamere was still a thing and Quick Blades was in the game.
Disgusting.
Yeah, Boy would have been the best top laner in the universe.
mean, as
If he wasn't already, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm sorry, he's the kid. We know that. Bro, going to be starting off this dragon. This dragon means about 0. As Showmaker is in the mid lane, letting them know that they care about 0 about it. As Mega Inferno Bomb comes down, that's not going to kill this one. As Beryl charges the ulti, doesn't actually throw it through, and big ones are starting to rain down. Shu does have Mega Gnar prepared, as now the ulti comes down, but Beryl, he's going to walk, aiming, walk. A lot of walk being a good strategy here as Morgan trying to be that front line. Showmaker able to just slash his way out spinningly, and DK will disengage.
Yeah, bro, heavily commit to the Chemtech Dragon and then just give up 2 mid towers for it, which is such a poor play, especially considering the composition you're playing into has about a Kai'Sa's length of range. And basically that's it. So like sieging for this D+ team is actually really hard, and they can get towers in the side lane easily with the 1-3-1 or just the 4-1. But getting mid tower is such a battle into Ziggs, Corki.
Yeah.
I feel like it was actually something that would really prevent D+ from pushing the pace of the game forwards, but bro, just kind of give him a double, not even a freebie, a double freebie.
Man, do you know what I'm sad about? What I'm sad about now is that we can't have Showmaker playing Tryndamere in Game 3. Because he's just having such a good time.
Yeah.
And doesn't it make you happy when Showmaker's happy? I know it sounds biased, but Showmaker is such an entertainer.
Yeah. And
he really needs to be feeling it to do his best work. So we, as LCK fans, are just blessed if Showmaker's having a good day.
Yep, it's true.
Closer going to complete the 2-item spike, though, on the Corki. But it's really feeling like an early weeks Corki situation here in this game, despite the fact that he has been farming quite well.
It's kind of just been like farming and not really achieving very much. But
yeah,
fair, not much has happened for a while with Bro.
Yeah, and the gap is completely closed, right?
Someone's
Showmaker was about 20 CS behind.
People have been slack on the bro tax, that's for sure.
I think that might be it. I haven't, like, I'm looking at the chat right now, and there is no purple.
Wow.
I see nothing.
Wow.
There's someone talking about Odd One's Nunu, which
that's what
honestly, based.
I feel like some people think it's like, you know, taxes in real life where you pay it once a year and then you're done. That's not how it works, guys.
No, that's not how it works.
Not
with Bro.
Not with Bro.
Not with the OK Savings Bank.
Bro is like when there's like a dictator or tyrant, it's like, no, more taxes, more taxes, more taxes.
They're levying. As,
all
right, it's another wallop and pulls back Closer. Oh, God. Oh, it's just lunch in a plane. As aiming is going to be able to supercharge his way out of that, and you can't even kill the wave. There's one melee minion, just enough. Apparently, they're able to take it down.
Just Mega Gnar engaging is all you need. That's just the strategy. Every single kill, basically, that D+ have had has been set up by Bro. Apart from that team fight, sorry, set up by Sivu. Apart from that team fight where Showmaker got 3.
Shu's amount of like E forward, transform, and just wallop them.
You'd think they'd learn
every time. He does that, and it works.
But yeah, it's just panning out. It's working. Oh, big spear.
Ow. Yeah. They can't kill Showmaker. I know that. And Humbug has got to work on this Arakan.
Oh, it's the just start Arakan time of the game.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's the strategy.
Guys, make Tryndamere team fight.
Well, I mean, they are in the lane that Showmaker is in. So that will help Showmaker team fight, as Shu's going to teleport in. He has Mega Gnar for another half a second, as Keeper's Verdict says goodbye, cow, and Humbug's in so much trouble. Showmaker's getting CC'd a little bit. He's got Undying Rage, but now he can even just reset and go home if he'd like to. Lucid is pouncing forward over the wall there as well. I think that might be a little bit, never mind, it's not over-aggressive because he can just withdraw. Goes back home. Beryl is dancing forward, gets himself a beautiful steadfast presence to lock them in place. And now Closer, I mean, he'll kill Beryl, but Beryl will set up the killer instinct for aiming, and there is the ace for D+. Oh, the third game. It is looking absolutely gorgeous.
D+ just, they just leave the Arakan there, and Bro can't resist starting it up. They feel locked in, they've lost too many turrets, they're scared of the 1-3-1, the 4-1, they're like, we just have to Arakan. And they fall right into Beryl's trap. He set when he died in lane at the start of the game. He saw this all coming.
Yeah, he did. He knew.
Yeah.
It was in the tea leaves or something.
Sivu just jumps in and ults, and then here, the ult from Beryl pretty good, moving the Alistar, all supports his handback splash, and then they kind of just slowly approach them. Again, this team is lacking CC, and they don't have the Mega Gnar, so they're really just
But what do they do if Showmaker is just hacking them apart?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. They just walk at them and then just attack them.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
They're using the death CC very, very well.
Yes. Very insightful. You know, I don't think Beryl realized he had the buff. This is just him.
He would have done it without the buff. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It's only encouragement for Beryl. All right, Aiming going to be starting off this Chemtech Dragon, and we'll be able to take that one down with Lucid's help. There is nothing that Bro can do about that. You can see it's looking like a bike jump as far as this gold graph is concerned.
I mean, a pretty lethal bike jump.
Oh yeah, no, you are. It's almost a quarter pipe. You would be coming back down the other way. However,
serious speed to get up that thing.
True. It's maybe a motorbike jump.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. As there's a really cool new game where you're a motorbike with a gun. It's coming out on Switch soon. I'm really excited about it. But that's a bit of an aside.
You're on a motorbike or you are the motorbike?
I think it's both. I'm not entirely... I didn't watch all of the trailer, but I'm still excited about it. Aiming is just killing Humbug. The turret might keep him alive for now, as the Unbreakable Will is a lie. It's looking a bit breakable. Until we get into Game 2, of course, GigaChads. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Sorry, into Game 3. This whole series is just mind-blowing. But it's been my favorite. Like, I feel so blessed, you know? I've got to cast Genji versus Bro and DK versus Bro.
It's been a ride.
It's been the best ride.
Yeah. I mean, Bro just up in the ante, right?
Yeah.
Take it to the Game 3. I don't think it's interesting if they play a game where they're already 1-0 ahead. They have to take it down to 1 each. They're fair. They're generous.
Well, look at this. Morgan going back to base. He's going to buy some new shoes, and they're pretty well upgraded. Just don't know whether these the feats of strength or the feat of strength that Morgan now has is going to be enough to stop this. Because look, Showmaker, like, just there is nothing stopping him, apart from his jungler, from just taking anything that he wants.
Lucid just speared red buff and stole it.
Yeah.
From Showmaker.
I think he just wanted to. He's a jungler, you know, like it's hardwired.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I heard some warning things on.
I really hope Showmaker is that guy in chat, like in the game, that's like, no, don't help me. No, don't. I need to see if I can solo it. I can solo it. I can solo it, guys. Look, no, go away, Aiming. No, go away. I'm soloing it. No, guys. All right, well, that is Keeper's verdict. That's going to get rid of Humbug. That is going to make sure that this Baron is not long for the world. Now Beryl is keeping them busy. Showmaker is spotted by a sapling and now just flashes in to everything. Undying Rage is going to be used here. He will have the Q, but he's still dead. Closer able to survive this one as well as Shiu wanting to hop around this minefield. Oh, no, the growth, the flash forward, and there's the takedown from Lucid to get some revenge. Aiming with the Killer Instinct will take down the Lord. It's a double kill there. Shiu is done with this game. It is way too silly. And Monty Python, they told us all about things being too silly. Shiu knows exactly how that feels as he looks to take down Hype on the fountain, while the rest of his team finally gets their act together and sends us to a Game 3. There is no series that I want 3 games in more than this one, and the Giga Chads will give it to us with DK there as well, helping out with their pretty textbook win with their Tryndamere mid. This chef here making his way out of the stage. What a genius.
Yeah, first course, a little bit rough, you know, a little overdone.
It didn't blow up the oven, though, is what we learned.
Second course, a lot better. Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew it was over as soon as Beryl did that thing where he went in level 3 and just died. I knew it was over then. It's just aura, right? You can't compete with that. You can't understand it.
Good luck, Guga, is what I'm saying, who's like trying to figure out what the best feedback is.
They don't need CC, they just need vibes. That's
the CC was what, like, Beryl's moves were that game. That was the CC.
They just confuse them,
yeah.
right? In Pokemon, not just CC.
Yeah, pushes, like, Beryl gets to manipulate them into the positions that he wants them in. Hype did a lot of damage, much as Ziggs is wont to do, but Shiu's, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he did. He was mega, and they were against a wall several times.
Several times.
That's the condition.
Yeah.
It's a very strange game.
I feel like this wasn't the best one to be an analyst, but it was definitely the best game to be a viewer.
It's making me question everything.
Yeah, and thankfully, if we're here, we're also viewing, so it's a benefit to us too. Time for us to go to a short break. When we get back, the Space is going to figure that game out. Good luck. And then we're going to have game number 3. Oh, baby.
이거 이조 전령도 잘했어.
와 그냥 트링
전령도 잘했어. 아 유충도 잘했어.
트링 개재밌는데?
괜찮아. 닉스도.
나이스.
나 더블로 있어.
제제 와! See 와 나루 빡인데? 못 잡냐 하루만?
아 나비.
어.
이거 안 들어갔어.
Not good.
Maybe this is why, right? All the LCK crew are in long-term relationships, right?
Ah.
So they haven't had to give out good advice.
Yeah, so they're out of practice when it comes to good advice.
Yeah.
And that certainly could be true. Here we are into game 3, ladies and gentlemen. OK Savings Bank Breon are now on the blue side. With a slight advantage there, they do manage to ban away a bunch of things, coordinate this first pick like they would want to. 1 free ban here for D+. After this final ban comes in for OK Savings Bank. Breon and Shiu going to get a lot of the focus out of these first couple of bans. Morgan wanting to hard carry this one as the Lilia going to be removed.
Yeah, I think especially, I feel like jungle is a pool that started to get really pinched later in the draft in Fearless. Just feels like the pool of the junglers you want to play. But to be fair, I feel like the junglers who see this game, like Pada Pantheon, Pada Nidalee, which is often banned, there's still options available. Yeah, the Rakan ban coming out, a bit of an interesting one. Definitely something Polu does like to play.
The Aurora is up.
Yeah, I think you just take it first pick.
I would agree, especially because you can flex it in theory. And Bessa also up. This is Lord Morgan's favorite champion at the moment.
Man, if they get Ambessa Aurora, it'd be insane. So I'm assuming D+ have the plans to take away the Aurora from him.
I think Aurelia is probably the choice, especially now that she's fresh off the nerf bat. Certainly a good idea.
Sejuani's just been missing today.
She has.
Hasn't shown up once.
So, Sejuani or Camille. I don't know whether that's one that's going to get picked away from you. Because there are lots of... Okay, Camille's just locked in. We saw Zeus on it yesterday. Yeah, Zeus on it yesterday. I get confused because I still associate Zeus with T1 and they played earlier today. But it was yesterday on HLA that he did play it. Lucid, what are we going to be picking? I think Aurora probably should happen. Then you can provide pens for people.
Yep.
You know, like you can really put them in a box comfortably. Not an actual box. Thresh was played in our previous series, hasn't been picked up here yet. That's Ezreal. I'm not...
I mean, it's a good pick for aiming. Not super jazzed on the pick in general. I feel like it's not been...
Yeah.
Kind of a little bit rough recently. But, you know, I feel like the Aurora is still there. They go for the Rel. They really want to secure a pick for Polo early on. MF is one I probably feel even worse about than Ezreal.
Yeah.
Based on how it's been going.
That was like a hold my beer situation because I saw the Camille Ezreal and I was like, wow, I'm underwhelmed. But then the Rel MF came in. And so my level of whelmed has gone even further down. And now it's a Braum. And we're not questioning Beryl. So my whelmedness is not going to move. So
Yep,
he's
going to lock it in. His job is to stand there and block the MF ult.
No, it's not. Don't define Beryl. How dare you?
Yeah, that's the thing, is you can W flash R on Braum.
True.
It's just like Rakan.
And if you max Q, you can then do a boatload of damage afterwards.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow. You could really hear the pain in Orc's voice.
The Bannerworthy Kindred trying to remove junglers that can stack up with the Braum. But to be honest, like, Xin still available. Wukong is still available.
Sejuani is still available, and so is Yone.
Yeah, Sejuani Yone would be a neat combination.
It would be relatively neat. They would be missing a bit of magic damage.
But they have true damage. Camille, Cho'Gath every 3 seconds, remember?
True. Do you know what?
Against that.
Do you know what D+ are going to do? They're going to pick Zyra. Because why else would you ban the brand?
Yeah, they could actually. I think it's a decent angle for it. But you'd lack a bit of engage, to be fair, is the only concern.
Because there's no Ziggs, no Kai'Sa.
Honestly, I feel like the combo would have worked better if they'd gone Leona instead of...
Why did I say Kai'Sa? Kai'Sa's not relevant here, but there's the Sejuani ban.
Because if you had Leona, you could just ult to stop the MF ult, and it's really good with Ezreal. So,
yeah.
But, you know, hindsight's 2020. Yeah, Wukong and Xin Zhao are both just there.
Warwick's up. And that's a big deal. Warwick has been very high priority here in the LCK thus far.
Yeah, he was in Arcane, so everyone wants to play him.
All right, that's a Nocturne.
Well, they do lack... I think the Wukong is probably, yeah, he's pretty good, you know, and if you're not aware.
That's making the brand seem really confusing to me right now.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like Zyra is just kind of better.
We saw Brand played into Xin Zhao, so maybe they were thinking we'll go Xin Zhao, and then they just decided not to anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, somehow Aurora has just gotten through to this rotation.
True.
Yeah.
Right, so they're going to lock the
but I mean, they had to ban Brand, right?
Yeah.
They had to ban Brand.
I think forever that brand is going to be in my brain, and and this is the thing, because I'm just not at the intellectual level that that Beryl is, and because Vladimir was up.
Ah, yes.
So how, you can't play Aurora into Vladimir. Oh. I've never seen it.
And remember the last game, they first rotation banned the Lee Sin.
Okay, it's LeBlanc.
It's there and it's available. You know what's funny is Showmaker looks so happy with the Vlad, and then the LeBlanc comes in.
He's like,
dead serious.
Yeah. Not even happy about it. Lee Sin's a fun one though for Humbug. He is so good on this champion. We've been singing his praises for quite some time. This draft makes little to no sense for me on D+'s side, not from what it has turned into now. Like this, you know, the pick composition, the way that they can really make sure that they kill someone and then have a lot of mobility around fights. But just the opportunities that they passed up.
I think you're using your brain a little bit too much there, Max, right?
I'm never one to do
This is 2 compositions. It's a vibe check, okay? Lots of skill expression.
True.
Champions where you can just, look to outplay your opponent. It's just hand stiff now. That's what the teams are looking at, right?
That's
true.
They're
looking for a bit of hand stiff. It's vibes. This is what this series has come to, and I'm here for it.
And honestly, LeBlanc is the closest thing to Vladimir, because in the lore, there are a couple and spend a lot of time together. You saw in the cinematic, they have a lot of communications and stuff. You know, they're both similar vibes. And so I guess you just, that was a lot of friend words for Showmaker there, but I need to do my very best to concentrate. We need to do our best to get our brains into the level so that we can comprehend this game. Everyone at home and here at LoL Park, I hope that we can pool our energy so that we can become smarter as a unit to be worthy of this game. Let's get into it. All right, I'm starting to think that there's only D+ Gear fans in LoL Park right now. They are so loud.
We are on their side, to be fair.
And they are also undefeated here in the LCK Cup.
You know, sounds are louder when they're closer.
True. If I had a nickel for every time I said that a certain team was louder because I was on their side, it would be a lot of nickels.
Yeah.
I could afford I don't know, lots of things. A sandwich, an egg, like a boiled egg.
An egg sandwich.
An egg sandwich?
Oh my God.
Probably.
That's...
I could even afford to buy the bread and the jam and like peanut butter and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at home with the amount of nickels that I have.
I was about to say, when you said the bread and the jam, I'm like, why are you putting jam in your egg sandwiches? What is wrong with you?
I couldn't afford the egg as well. That would be too much.
Gotta pick and choose, you know?
Yeah.
The monstrosity that came to mind when you said that.
Have you ever done that challenge with your friends where like you have a selection of stuff to make sandwiches with and then they're like, just put everything in it?
No.
I did that once on a camp and it was disgusting.
That sounds
Yeah, there was creamed corn, and the problem in Australia is we often have Vegemite. I know you've got Marmite in Britain as well, and it's just, yeah, that's not it. It was an incident. Anyway, she is here in the mid lane because, of course, there is a lane swap going on. We have the Rel MF towards the top side of the map, and Closer is having a pretty good time here in this mid lane.
Yeah, Morgan's just trying to get some XP bot lane. Dangerous against Ezreal Roam, notorious for having a lot of power in that level 1 with the Mystic Shot and the Winter's Bite.
Yep.
I'm not sure if he has actually picked up any XP yet, but Polu's going down. Okay, so he's got a little bit. Polu's got a decent amount. Hoping to stave off the dive at 2v, potentially 4. They might be going for this without the Wukong, though. This is very risky.
Yeah, this is like a hookshot dive attempt, and Polu is lying in wait. Will finally show himself before any... Okay, Barrel stands behind the minion, beside the minion, sorry.
Rare Barrel...
They will get... Yeah.
Rare Barrel disengage moment, you know?
Exactly. And they do manage to get the plate and get themselves out, but Polu staving off disaster.
Yeah. I mean, good moves from Polu there, so covers his top laner, gets the farm, gets XP. Done pretty well.
And Showmaker doing LeBlanc things. This is a champion that we know him very well for.
That was a zoning strike from Polu there.
Yep. This particular LeBlanc skin, I always just assume is his world skin, by the way, because he uses it every single time, and it just feels in the same vibe as the DK world skins. It's Closer Flash.
Yeah, remember, Showmaker has Ignite.
He has Ignite.
Yeah.
Wait, is this also the Electrocute buff patch?
No, that's next one.
Oh god, I'm not looking forward to that, as Hype takes a turret shot. And she is level 3, so pretty comfortable. There is a lot of vision here in this rush. Alright, let's see whether Lucid's going to be okay. As the Ghosty Wukong. Don't mind this one. And Hype now just continuing to farm. So things pretty even across the board. Top lane is anemic as usual.
That's how it goes. I love how we get this really hype matchup. Emil against Ambessa. Both of them just, you know, a lot of dashes going ham.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, no, it's just not happening. Beryl tanks turret shot for fun.
A lot of damage.
Yeah. Oh god.
That's even more damage.
Procs it, and that's 2 more Mystic Shots and he's dead. And they'll take 2 plates for their trouble as well, as Morgan dashing around trying to get what he can. 16 CS to the 10 of his lane opposition.
Yep, if you're wondering why everyone plays Cassante all the time, that's why. Because you can't do that to Cassante.
Yeah, you can do it to Ambessa though.
Yeah, not as fun in the swaps. If swaps weren't a thing, think how broken Ambessa would be.
I mean, we've seen it. Even when swaps were a thing, she's still broken.
Well, yeah.
But imagine if they weren't. It would be, she'd be nerfed pretty immediately. Already has been since the first time we saw DK versus Bro this year at the Kesper Cup. That was, of course, a series that Bros were able to win. They did lose a game in said series, though. It was a 3-1 victory.
Lost a game here as well.
Exactly.
It's all coming together.
So we know that they should win this game, and if there was another game, although there isn't because this is a best of 3, they should win that too. Is aiming once again back to facing off against Morgan. This time we've transferred our lanes. And yeah, the lane swap sadness continues for our top laners.
Yeah, not getting any reprieve here. Grub's spawning up soon. The thing is, Deepos have that bot lane on the top side, so, I mean, that's free for them. Hamak really needs to make his way down towards the boss side and look to take this dragon. Just to trade in return, unless he wants to try and maybe steal a grub, but it seems very risky.
I feel right now, though, DK are feeling pretty good about it. I feel like you look at any of these drafts that have Wukong, and you're like, if the early game is kind of just not a whole lot of action, then you're pretty happy. As Polu, yeah, he's not going to be making Showmaker's life any different than what it was currently.
Lane up here. Shiwu doesn't have TP, so
Lucid's already managed to get one of the grubs. So
now,
yeah, just gets himself out of there. Big rotation, big investment, and that means that Shiwu gets a whole lot of time.
yeah, there's no TPs to respond to this. So,
Aiming, Arcane Shift.
yeah, I think D+'s pretty happy with how this pans out. They don't commit too heavily towards the top side. They get a grub, they deny like the feature strength stacking. And they just give Shiwu some alone time, getting some XP, getting some farm, maybe a plate.
Yeah, probably going to help Morgan shove this one out so that he can answer the push towards the bottom side. As you can see, Closer actually down there trying to match. And Hextech Ultimatum is up here for Shiwu. So once again, we have DK with a composition that 1-3-1s really well, actually. LeBlanc in a side lane is something that has worked very well in the past.
Yeah, I will say, I feel like Bro's composition is okay into it. It's not as good, but
Yep.
you definitely hold your own in your side lanes compared to some comp.
Yeah,
that has
Bessa pretty strong.
yeah, like a Corki or something. Yeah, Bro will eventually get their hands on this dragon.
And they also get the most of the grubs as well. So if they're able to actually put up a good fight for the next pack, then 5-1 is actually a whole lot of pushing power. So like you were saying, both teams wanting to work in side lanes could be a point of contention. As Lucid's over the wall, and Hype gonna flash immediately, gets the Cyclone out of Lucid.
Got the flash at a Showmaker, I think pretty big. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, obviously it's a LeBlanc, so not the most punishing cooldown to be without. But it just feels like he waited for like a split second until D+ fully committed and then flashed.
Yeah,
So good moves.
like that angle. As Morgan just continuing to do his thing. This is Shiwu potentially in trouble. So Hextech Ultimatum has got to be used very, very well if he is going to survive. Let's see how this one's going to go. He just doesn't get to use it.
Doesn't get to click the button. Yep, well executed. Good kick from Handback to set it up. We see some scrapping going on in the top side. Morgan's half HP. Lucid is coming with no ult. He could turn this. Look at Aiming's mana. This is playable for Morgan.
Yep, see whether he can actually find the angle here. Can he press R? That's the question, as Winter's Bite says probably not, although Beryl is in trouble. Calculated. Aiming, gets that turret stacked up, and even Lucid having a taste of Morgan sitting pretty.
I think D+ can be just happy they didn't lose anyone.
Yeah, right.
Dangerously close. Morgan, great moves there. Waits as soon as Beryl gets aggro, ults onto him to lock him up. A dangerously close encounter there. Just didn't have the right setup, I feel. Didn't have the ult from Lucid, don't have the ult from Beryl, and Aiming very low on mana. It was a dangerous one to go for.
Yeah, and I feel like DK don't want to be scrapping too much right now. I think Bro have a composition that does do very, very well in the early stages. DK won a couple of items, but let's have a look at Shiwu not being able to play the game.
I think Shiwu was waiting for like the stun to come out from Hollow, which is a bit more telegraphed. Handback just walks up and kicks him. And this one, yeah, just great ult on a Beryl. Catches him when he has aggro.
I didn't even see the animation for the public execution there. Really nicely played from Morgan.
Yeah, and to not hit Lucid was huge.
야, 잘 받았지?
Oh, it's just easy for the Lord. It's
그래도
easy.
돼. 1층 볼 거잖아.
Damn, that's exactly how I expected him to react to that as well. I'm so glad that Morgan is just cannon.
Damage.
Well, dashing around. And we were talking about this guy as being really far behind and struggling in the early game. He's 15 CS up.
Yeah,
He's chilling, absolutely.
as literally demonstrated
Yeah.
in his player cam.
Yep. Just having a sip of his water, no worries.
Yeah, looks like Robot Lane a bit under pressure, but should just be able to clear this out quickly. Aiming Beryl definitely would appreciate more time in this 2v2 matchup to punish it.
And that has not really been given to them. We do have grubs coming up in 20 seconds time. That should be the next point of contention. I think both of these teams really wanting to get a few grubs under their belt. I'm taking some damage. Polo as well. Winter's Bite stacking up, has to crash down.
I think really where this matchup takes off for the MF is once you get that Fierce Titan Bloodthirster, it just becomes so hard for Aiming to walk up.
Yeah.
You just shake off all his poke. And obviously Aiming gets strong on like 2-item spike and stuff, but that Bloodthirster spike is kind of just obnoxious for getting like lane priority. Do you see Handback starting up the grubs?
Yeah.
We see Morgan already moving up. Shiwu has no TP again. So
Yeah, and they are pinging onto him. He's actually going to stick around, and it looks like they're not going to be denying any of them. So, bro, as we were talking about before, those 5 grubs on the cards. Aiming and Beryl still in position, but I think if you're going to give it up, give it up. And they're going to move back over towards this turret. The wave going missing, but oh, the make it rain. Enough damage to take down that cannon. Feels absolutely fantastic.
If you look bot lane, nothing was lost. Morgan had great timing to roam up, was there just in case, walks back, doesn't have to be in TP. Top lane, a couple of minions die, and that's about it. Just really well executed by Bro, covering their bases there. And it's the ideal rotation you want when you contest an objective, where like you move everyone to it, but you have like your side laner like just moving to cover mid if needed. So ticking all the boxes there. 5 grubs, already have that first dragon.
Man, so okay, I've got an analogy for you. I'll see whether you think that it's right or whether it's stupid. I feel like Bro are kind of like a hybrid car, but the petrol engine ain't great. You know, and they were using the petrol engine in Game 2.
Yep.
Wasn't all that good.
But they have to, so they can charge
so
the
they
electric
can
engine.
charge the electric engine, and that thing, like, I mean, it's ironic in this game, but it might have been Kia that built it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, what I would think, is that they just have a regular engine, but it's powered by the Brotax, and some people were slacking last game.
That's true.
So
that could be, that actually sounds like it makes more sense. Mine was very convoluted.
I'm looking at, you know, if you're in the chat, you haven't paid your Brotax. Things start to go pear-shaped, you got no one else to blame.
Yep. You know what to do, chat, by the way. All right, Polo's coming down. Showmaker, this could be a rough one as he's just running away from the turret, and he's fine. The turret maybe not as fine as Beryl is moving over. They're sweeping out the vision. Full information given over to Bro here. Shu almost with his teleport back up, and Morgan has his. And that's going to cause some troubles. Beryl comes down and misses the Winter's Bite.
Yeah, Bloodthirst now picked up for hype, so this is kind of where we see Ezreal having a bit of a struggle. TP coming in from Closer. He's just picked up the Malignance.
Yeah. And this dragon should belong to Bro. They have had such a monopoly on these objectives so far this game, so that will be the feat of strength going over their way.
2 games in a row, right?
Yeah.
D+ get the first 2 dragons, they get Chemtech Soul, the lowest win rate soul.
And now we get the highest win rate soul?
Yep. Bro get first 2 dragons, they get the highest win rate soul.
That is your bro tax at work, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Can't dispute it.
It actually affects the RNG within the game.
It's coded that way.
It is. That's what connecting your league account to Twitch does. And much more. As Aiming and Hype facing off against one another, you can see that obnoxious Bloodthirst you were talking about doing some work, but you can see Aiming's still able to farm pretty comfortably as Closer will just take the feats of strength, exactly right. He will be able to utilize the ultimate to get himself away, but Showmaker was not interested in that at all. And so he's going to retain his CS advantage, but not quite the gold advantage. And it feels like Bro have played the map so much better than DK so far this game.
Yeah.
We need DK to kind of come alive here. Where is Beryl's great adventure, you know?
True. I think one of the problems is they kind of relied on Showmaker making pressure, or like Lucid and Shiwu being the ones to get. Braum, I know Beryl will try it, but Braum not the best at being the one to create pressure, and I feel like it's just, he's not unleashed, you know? It's not a champ that I would be like, yes, let's get Beryl and Braum.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good when it's leashed Beryl.
Yeah.
You don't want leashed Beryl.
Unleashed Beryl is the best Beryl.
And he might be able to force it on this Braum. We've seen that attempted in the past, but not with very much success.
Yeah.
Aiming on Ezreal, though, this is certainly a champion that he can hard carry on. Pretty close to that 2-item spike. Showmaker hitting level 11 is a big deal as well.
Oh, man. I just saw it. No one had tier 2 boots on Bro. They get the feats of strength. 3.
Oh, immediately getting that value?
Yeah.
You love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem, is that you hit a Q on Polo, it's actually relevant. You hit one on Hype, it's just not.
No. Just immediately gets the healing back, and then the shield, and then he's just more than fine. Humbuck is waiting. For what? We may not ever know.
Probably Beryl.
Probably killing this ward.
Yeah.
As Beryl is not going to get hit. We get the zoom.
He's on
Thanks, Jonas Strong. Look at it, like the creation of drama, where it otherwise wouldn't be there from our observers. I have to say, it's extraordinary. Because there's been one kill this game, ladies and gentlemen. It has not exactly been riveting stuff.
Oh, which ad account is it? I didn't. Is it Ruinous?
It's
They did buff the chance of Ruinous turning up.
That's true.
So,
And maybe off screen, the players have been hitting each other. Because it wasn't on screen, I'll tell you that much.
yeah. I won't hold my breath on being a Ruinous Atakan.
I do really like the amount of emotion that the observers put into just a small zoom.
Yep.
Of like, Shiu is here by himself on the map. As Lucid has started this off, but Humbug's the one to continue it. Beryl can stand beside the monkey as it goes in, but don't know about this one. Bro, 4 members towards this Rift Herald.
Both top laners do have TP.
Yeah.
Like, Morgan's pulling the trigger first. Shiwu just isn't.
He is not. True Shot Barrage comes in. That is Humbug with Smite. And so that will secure it. As Shiu, he is doing his very best Showmaker's Tryndamere impression. As aiming, will stand his ground for now. Does have Beryl there with a door. And that's successful. Immediately, Shelly goes down. Shiu is looking to lock down this turret. Will be able to do so. So success on that front, but it looks like this outer turret in mid is also going to go over. Humbug could be in trouble as Beryl's diving forward. Finds the Winter's Fight. Humbug just, yeah.
Yeah, we can
Presses
see
safeguard.
Shiwu actually TP'd there to move in. They wanted to punish the overextension for the mid tower, but unfortunately not able to do anything. It was a good move from Bro, and importantly, made the Lee Sin be the one to ride the Herald. Definitely the preferred choice, I would say.
Yeah, and there's one thing that's really standing out to me, and that is DK think that they win in the late game. You know, we've all had those games where it's like, don't worry, we win late, says the Viger in the mid lane. Just don't die, says the Nasus in the top lane.
I'm not gonna lie, I say that every game where I'm down.
Play Ziggs every game.
Well, true. But even when I'm not playing Ziggs, I just always
Morgan,
say,
you can get the other one too!
yeah, what the heck? Pick it up. But I just always say, don't worry, we outskill, we outskill.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
just about the champions, it's like, we just, like, they'll have Kassadin, Aurelion, Sol for some reason, they have both, and I'm like, no, we outskill, we outskill. we have bigger brains, our IQ scales well in the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
You just gotta, you know, just hype yourselves up.
Well, you can also do things in the early to mid game to put yourself in a better position to win, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the Bro way.
That is the Bro way, and they are certainly set up for success here. 5 Grubs getting to work on this top side with Closer just by himself taking this turret down. DK, it's a bit of milling about. Outside of this, where Showmaker is dashing on top and Humbug's dead, the chains connect! Beryl? I was going to say why, but that is the one word you're not allowed to use.
It's his kill. If he's using his ult and his flash, you think he doesn't deserve the kill?
I don't think that he doesn't deserve the kill.
Good. Yeah, so that means we're going to get Dragon. Going to stop that Cloud Soul stacking. Pretty nice.
By stop that, you mean they're going to start it.
That's true.
As Morgan is fighting Shiu.
Okay.
And winning for now, but the Dragon is just going to go down. Aiming takes a combo from Closer, and that's 50% of his health bar.
Can you believe that Rune's getting buffed next patch?
Oh, some of those tweets were absolutely hilarious. Yeah, I can't believe it, actually, as it turns out. Okay, let's have a look at this one more time. This was finally DK making a proactive move.
Handback, I just don't think the Raptors are worth it. Look, your whole blue side jungler's up. You're just taking anything there.
And he also could have not flashed because the whole reason that
yeah, Showmaker flash to make
flashes.
Yeah. He's still a rookie. It's okay.
Yeah.
He'll learn. I feel like sometimes I see a flash and I'm like, you're just trying. You try to show that like I'm really trying. It's like just save it.
Yeah. Just you don't have to.
Well, flash on Lee Sin notoriously not very high value, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, what can you do with a flash on Lee Sin?
No idea. I certainly couldn't make it work. As Hype will just move back towards his mid lane and, you know, double up, aiming. Bit of damage there.
Yeah, aiming, pretty big spike, 2 items with the Manamune fully stacked.
Yep.
Still probably not going to be able to do any damage to Hype, but
we've got double Trinity Forces as well for Shiu and Lucid, so that's certainly good news.
Triple overall, though.
Yeah, that is a lot.
It's a double Eclipses. I mean, you look at Morgan and Handback's items versus...
Ooh, Flash.
What?
The barrel respect is at where it needs to be.
Yeah, the engaged Braum.
Yeah. As Closer back to the top lane, he's going to shove that one out. And what are we looking for? As far as our next objective, it looks like Atakan is what's on the minds of these players. Another Winter's Bite. No flash for that one for Polo, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it's, I just verified, it's the Voracious Atakan.
Oh, okay.
And
well, it must have been close.
The intent Voracious Atakan is to instill more action. Because the buff, you know how like you can fight without, and if you die, you're not really punished for it. So, you know, despite it being what I feel is a relatively action-packed game,
I don't know. There's been a kill every 10 minutes.
Yeah, you know,
like
but
that is pretty action-packed.
Yeah, it's been pretty which is why I'm confused why it's a Voracious Atakan. But clearly, you know, it's not enough. They want more blood. So a little bit excessive. It is Noxus themed, you know. They're very.
I'm looking forward to when they buff it again, because obviously it's at the wrong spot. This is a ruinous angle.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
People that struggle to pick up sarcasm would struggle with our broadcast, I think. They really would.
Person taking everything completely literally.
Wow, you'd have some opinions, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of fascinating. I want to hear from someone like that now. Is Humbug going to be clearing out this ward? And Bro grouped up outside of Morgan for this this Atakan situation here. True Shot Barrage. There's nothing at all. And this is what we've been waiting for. A moment where Showmaker can sort of dance around the edges of these fights, or at least the edges of his enemy team, because there's no real fights happening, and really cause some damage. 2 items almost complete. When that Shadow Flame is done, he is going to be really hitting hard.
I feel like this is on me, because I sold this game as... Oh, wait.
Oh, in he goes. There's the Cyclone angle. Another knock-up as they get onto Hype in the backline, but he survives for so long. Shiu turns up, and they do manage to take him down. It's a double kill, as finally the Camille does something in this game 3. And the rest of Bro have to scatter. The Atakan gonna be taken down. And D+, wow! They were lying dormant for so long, and finally the bear after hibernation wakes up and bites their head off.
Lucid finds the angle, gets a great knock up there, and Hype does his best to survive, but does go down.
And I want to watch what Beryl did in that fight. I'm fascinated. I cannot wait.
Oh,
because I was busy looking at the monkey and I didn't see what the true carry was doing.
Yeah, he blocks Closer's damage.
Yeah.
Actually lands a Mystic Shot.
Ult
back at
3.
Yeah. He's getting the value. And then Kiwi just slides in, picks up 2 kills. Guys, I've been in the game this whole time. Trust me.
It was actually a sick fight. Lucid really finding the angle. And there is that Shadow Flame that we were talking about. It only gets worse from here for the Giga Chads. I'm sensing a severe lack of Brotax in that chat.
Yeah.
If you want to create a turnaround,
there must have been a
now is the time.
There must have been a lull in the Brotax.
Yeah.
That's my only explanation for that situation.
Yep. I'm waiting for Dagon Says to really put the call into action because we need to see it, as Polu, in his way out, will successfully do so. So, minute and a half on this buff.
The thing as well with D+ having Atakan is there's so many towers for them to take, but also their comp is very tricksy, right? There's a lot of champions who are just already hard to kill, and now you don't really benefit for killing them.
Yeah, and they can, just walk up to this outer turret in mid lane, and what are you supposed to do about it? And the answer is, go away. Maybe just give it up. As we almost have, all of these ults back up and available once again, as Showmaker loves the situation as well, as Closer throws down the ulti. They're trying to get them out of here, but Closer is just going to die for his trouble. Lucid takes a vacation. He's going to head back to base. And DK still fighting. Humbug now, the kick going to get the kick out onto Shiu, who says, all right, well, I'll go home. And DK, Showmaker and Beryl holding onto the buff for another minute. But they take down the outer turret. They get a decent amount of damage onto the inner, and they kill 2. And
they should be able to just pick up this dragon with 2 dead on the side of Bro. Well, it'll be one in a second.
It's looking pretty cloudy, isn't it?
It
is. The quad cloud. The dream. We need the game to last long enough.
Dragon option, yeah. So Amy gets a decent amount of damage on Closer. It's a good interrupt from Polu. Reads where Lucid is. Closer gets a big ult, but is immediately punished and jumped on. And it's high value from the ultimate in return, but
yeah, the bullet time was really good.
You're just not trading that well because of the buff.
And the hook to interrupt the hook shot is, sorry, the kick to interrupt the hook shot was good. Still feeling too little too late as Humbug hits the void where his Brambleback used to be. And I wonder what the state of this top lane matchup is going to be now. Steric's Gauge picked up for both of them after the initial items, Eclipse and Trinity Force, but it feels like Camille, with the true damage, with the ability to do so much work in these side lanes, I feel like the scaling is possibly still in her favor. Is that how it works? with Camille versus Ambessa? I don't really know the matchup that well.
I don't know the matchup that well either, I'll be honest.
I feel like true damage kind of says late game.
Yeah, but the thing with Ambessa is you get so much percentage pen of your ult and so much healing.
True.
And she's just broken.
Yeah. And there's the release date situation. It's Polu!
Yes.
He's going for it! Okay, the rest of Bro are making their way over. Lucid with the Cyclone is trying to do something here as Hextech Ultimatum will push them around the fight. Lucid staying alive for so long, but Humbug is able to take him down in the end, and Beryl is lying on the floor as well. Only 3 members left as Aiming will finally turn up. Public execution onto the Camille. And Aiming, you can possibly just kill all of them as Showmaker gets into the back line. Dagon's losing his mind, but it's still a pretty good trade, in all honesty.
Yeah, I don't think you can complain about the situation. Oh, closer.
Shiu,
Oh.
True Shot Barrage, that was his teammate.
Yeah, that doesn't do much damage when it's on your own team. Very chaotic fights, I feel like we're getting in this situation. But
Break it down for me, Ox. Let's do it.
They engage on Lucid, who's isolated on this flank, and do a pretty good job of just kind of exploding him. As the rest of the team moves in, they're kind of just moving into Closer's ult. Beryl gets kicked into the bullet time and goes down. Again, just super chaotic here, but Handback is doing everything he can.
Great Mega Cone there as well from Humbug.
Yeah, and then Morgan trying to catch Shiwu, but that shield is just massive. Showmaker's like, I'm gonna kill you jungler, just for funds.
He did do that.
But overall, favorable fight for Bro, and they're finding an angle. It's good to see.
Yeah.
Some life back in them. Just whoever paid that Bro tax there.
Exactly, and I'm seeing it. There are definitely some Bro tax enjoyers. And Aiming, doing a lot of damage.
See, it's highlighting
Not
the
in that
carries,
last fight.
but look at the bottom.
Yeah.
Beryl had about 1,500 more damage than Polu. I think
Could
that
you
says
do
everything.
that if you don't put the extra points into your queue? I'll give you the answer. The answer is no. Could not do that. As all right, who's face checking? It's Beryl. As Aiming now going to find some aggression. Showmaker as well, just pushing them away from this Baron. It's only been up for 3 minutes. Haven't really seen too much focus around it. But Shiu pushing in a side lane, and we've got 2 minutes left until the Dragon.
Okay, big spikes for Bro. It's got Rabadons for Closer and Infinity Edge for Hype. So
That's big.
Yeah.
And Hype really does not care about his cool feats of strength.
yeah, what's the point?
Because his feet are pretty weak right
You know what? They gave Cassiopeia a buff because she doesn't benefit from feats of strength. Where is the MF buff? Because she just never builds boots.
Well, I don't know whether it's the same situation, but maybe they should consider it.
You know, even when magical footwear, because he's that opposed to paying money for any sort of feet equipment.
Yeah. Feet equipment.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, Humbug checking the brush, gets a control ward down. He's moving real quick as Beryl stands beside Aiming, as a good support does. And Aiming makes it out of there. They are playing some good defense here on DK's side, not letting them get in to get vision on this Baron. But the amount of stalling that's happening will mean that we'll have some cross-map situations, right? It'll be soul point available for both teams and Baron buff up. So some swift decision-making will be required.
Yep.
And by swift decision-making is something that's not been required so far this particular game.
But it is a
because
Cloud
it's been
Soul.
very slow.
It's a Cloud Soul, so it needs to be swift decision-making, you know?
true.
Do you want to be swift, or do you want to have Baron?
Yeah. Probably Baron.
Yeah, if it was Soul,
Yeah, that'd be different. As Lucid
not.
waits for the ward to go down and then kills it. That is the state of this game right now. That epitomized what's been happening in this game.
yeah.
Ward go down, enemy kill ward, walk away.
I can only imagine how much gold has been spent on control wards in this game
Oh,
by the supports. I mean, you look at the items, it's like a Zeke's and a Kindle Gem. The classic. Finish your first item and a Kindle Gem.
full build, baby.
Yeah, however much gold you've had in this game, it's like you ain't buying any more items. Incredibly, Beryl has actually started to go towards the second item.
Yeah, Beryl has actually disabled his his other item slots just so that he can have more processing power.
Yeah.
I say as he buys a whole bunch of random stuff, so all of his item slots.
Okay, this is just a free dragon.
Uh-huh.
Well, triple cloud dragon.
Sometimes inaction is action, guys.
But what about when it isn't?
It wasn't. This is not an example of that. But sometimes, you know, it is.
You should give that pitch to Riot for the Ruinous. Every game Ruinous.
I honestly think that it should just be a coin flip. Like, just make it like the Dragons.
Yeah. I think everything, you know, maybe sometimes like red buff and blue buff don't spawn when they normally use. Sometimes it's on the other side.
Oh, true.
Just make sometimes
everything's like a Kindred mask.
Sometimes Baron spawns in the Dragon Pit, Dragon spawns in the Baron Pit.
Yeah.
Just, you know, anything can happen. Just make it more. I like, you know, my favorite coin flips were the Scuttle Crab originally. When it would spawn on one side and be super valuable, and also with Kindred, when it's like, oh, I either have a mark or I don't because I lost the coin flip. It's more coin flipping.
Yeah.
Everything should be.
Yeah,
in fact, I think minion waves shouldn't be consistent. It's like one wave is like...
Sometimes you just get a double wave and there's no wave in mid.
Sometimes there's like 4 cannons, 2 melees, and a caster. Why not?
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
It'd make the game a bit more spicy, you know?
We really have to get into Froxon's DMs.
Yeah.
I reckon Matty would really appreciate that.
Oh, he'd love it. He'd love it.
He would, absolutely. Oh man, we're so smart. And we're given so much time because there's nothing happening in this game. The amount of brainstorming that we're getting done here. Oh, it's so good.
I tell you, I think a lot more would happen if suddenly like 3 waves just showed up and made.
Yeah, just waiting like 11 cannon minions just marching towards you. I wonder if I'll be able to freeze this die.
Oh, and there's like a 0.1% chance that like a super minion spawns. So like sometimes wave 1, this is
sometimes you can be really lucky. It's like, Leela, it's a gacha game.
It's
in the game.
Level 1, there's just a super minion and you just can't defend it. It takes the power.
I mean, I don't think people would be happy about it, but man, I would be entertained. As Beryl is by himself, that is able to stand beside a minion that in our theoretical League of Legends could have been in Super Minion.
It could have been.
We're now heading back towards this Dragon Pit, not up for another minute, 2.5 minutes, sorry, as Bro still want to try and start a fight. I think they're getting antsy.
Yeah, we can see this 1-3-1 though from D+, beautifully working. Mills
Yeah, except
long top.
We are hurting.
Just keep running.
Bro
keep
are
running.
hurting.
You have 3 Cloud Dragons. Just keep walking.
All right, there's the Flash Magnus Storm as Lucid's the target. The ulti goes down, but the Cyclone's there. Closer has to flash to get out of the way, and he's so incredibly low. And that's Lucid's clone. Shiu's going to find Closer and then lose him, but does have Hextech Ultimatum. And even though this is what Pro were looking for, it is not working for them whatsoever. Lucid goes in, then he's out again. It's the bait and switch, the smoke and mirrors, and the bullet time is not Hype's best time. Showmaker is just, I don't care about this game at all. He's just going to try and win as hook shot goes nowhere, but does it even really matter? The answer is yes, says Morgan, as Beryl getting taken down so low. The kick out by aiming, but it just takes him to safety. And now Morgan with all the dashes. Beryl with no fear at all when he probably should have some. And now Lucid flashing forward, looking for Hype, but Hype is just killing everyone.
He's just ending the game.
Just kind of trying to win the game. Yeah, exactly right. Showmaker is doing the best he can. Oh my god! Aiming does it. He takes down the 80 carry, but that is one Nexus turret that Showmaker's able to take. And if we have a look at the money, I don't know what the gold was before the fight, but I think probably still good for DK.
That was just so... I mean, this whole time, Showmaker's like, guys, I'm just pushing top. He doesn't have TP, but I think even if he did, he just doesn't care. He's above this, right? And
I mean, even Shiu's thinking like, maybe I just let him live so that I can take an inhibitor turret.
Yeah, he was thinking about it. There is actually a wave deeper past them, but in the end, joins the fight. Very scrappy. D+ kind of caught between, okay, well, we don't want them to recall. We want to fight, but we also don't just want to die. But then they're kind of like, Beryl must have said something like, no, we're dying.
Yeah.
We're in. We're all in. And
he's like, Showmaker, end.
Yeah, Aiming had some slick moves here. The Arcane Shift there, so the kick went in the direction. Really well played. Got a lot of Mystic shots down here. Lucid goes in on Hype, and Aiming's just getting the damage down. And then at the end, the fact that it's a 1v3 situation, Arcane Shift just went on cooldown, flashes over, hits the Q, WE auto.
My god.
Slick with it.
Really slick. Well, Vision now available here as Lucid gets a bit of a peek into the Baron, and we are back into the action once again. As barrels over the wall, True Shot Barrage connects onto Closer. He wants to have a higher health bar than that. Is now Hype's in trouble. Hextech ultimatum. Oh no, he's in the blender. And he is not coming out.
Oh, aiming?
Aiming does get picked up as well. So no more 80 carries in this battle. It's all about Shiu and Showmaker for the damage on DK's side. Morgan as well. Can he survive? He's got so much healing. Closer is in so much trouble though, and he's relied upon so much to get all the work done for the bros. And the hookshot will stun up Morgan. The Lord surviving for so long. Shiu almost dead. And Polu an afterthought, but he'll go down. The flash forward, and there it is. The surprise Teemo is sarcasm here for Showmaker. He is not surprised about the outcome of that fight. As DK, they look to take down the last remaining Nexus turret, and they look to remain undefeated here, taking down their rivals in the Kesper Cup. It was still an arduous series. Game 1 was a rough one, and there is a backdoor bonus, so this turret takes a fair bit, but finally the minion wave turns up, and DK, they will remain undefeated here in the LCK Cup.
It feels like that game, pretty slow and steady, and then D+ just decided, it's time. It's time to make things happen. The 1v1 was having a lot of pressure, and Bro just didn't have a way to respond to it, forced to fight, forced to contest these objectives, forced to stop Baron, and D+, we're just kind of vibing. This was a vibe pump, and you could see they were just completely fine with how things were playing out.
This feels to me like a situation where it's like the Mighty Ducks. You know, they get a new coach, and the coach tries to make them do something that's not really them.
Yeah.
That was game 1.
Yeah.
Game 2, they were like, no. We just want to do this one ourselves. They sent him out, and they just vibed. And they did that for the rest of the series and came out with a victory. I do want to talk about Bro a little bit though, because I think that Bro's game 1 was phenomenal League of Legends.
Yep.
Game 2, you know, like that weird hybrid car analogy, it just wasn't really it. We didn't really see it from them. This game, very, very slow. We saw some of the Bro moments, but not quite enough. And so what we need to take away from this is that you are not investing enough channel points into Bro.
Everyone just went, you know, channel points game 1, and they forgot about it. They closed chat, didn't pay their Bro tax after that.
And you can't really be doing that. Like, if you are a true Bro fan, you should be sitting at 0 at the end of a series like this.
Yep. All in on Bro every single game.
Yeah.
Bro lose a series, I lose my channel points. That's how it goes.
That is how it goes. That is how it goes.
Honestly, though, I actually think that's what happened, is that after game 1, they went all in on the channel points. Game 2,
I know Valdez definitely bit the dust on that one.
No channel points left for the Bro tax.
Yeah.
They're trying to scramble them together. They're looking in like in some coat in the wardrobe. It has channel points in the pocket.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's electronic.
It's not even in like the hallway drawer that your dad normally puts the change into. Just couldn't find it.
Yeah.
It was already rated.
Yeah.
And I was honored to cast this series though. This was a whole lot of fun. A little bit less action here in game number 3, but the rest of it is just pure entertainment for both of these teams.
Just a hard game to play MF in, I'm not gonna lie. And Showmaker and Shiwu, I feel like really was such a tandem duo.
Yeah.
Where like every single time they're approaching from roughly the same distance, different angles. You know, one of them leads, the other one follows, and they're just such a threat on the backline. It's so hard to play because they're both you can't engage on them. They're too mobile. You don't have that much reliable engage.
And they just shave off the edges of it every fight, right?
Yeah.
And so Bro always corralled, and like otherwise that happens, right?
Yeah.
Showmaker just gets in. And this was Bro's hard engage attempt.
It just makes the fight feel small, you know? You have such a limited space you can work with. If you step outside that space, you're dead, as Closer did. This was when it got a little bit funky, but still fun and fresh.
Yeah. And this Arcane Shift, like you were talking about, keeping aiming alive, is Ezreal always a treat to watch, and was once again. And this you might be looking at, and you're like, oh, Bro's winning. Unless you look at the minimap, in which case, you're like, what? There's a guy down there. Now we're going to have a listen as D+, yeah, they find Hype. And Bro managed to get the exchange. Like, Humbug played that so clean. Finds the kick flash, onto aiming, executes the Ezreal, difficult target to lock down. But the ensuing fight, DK were able to make work as Beryl went down to like 100 health and still managed to get out.
And he's still going forwards.
Oh, yeah. The man has no regard for his own life.
Yeah.
And Shiu, look at that, hands off keyboard. He's like, man, that was close. Showmaker says hello. Oh my goodness. This is the scariest version of Showmaker, the one we have this season.
Truly. And you know, they managed to do it. They managed to go undefeated.
Yeah.
Only team to do it undefeated, huge achievement, and I think it's representative of their play. It has been fun. It's been good vibes. It's been Showmaker having a great time. But the play has really been top class a lot of the time. You know, maybe not game one, but most of the time.
And the picks have been insanity. Like, Showmaker has won on Set, Zillion, Zoe, Tryndamere. So many different things.
I think
this guy's like really living the fearless dream.
I think maybe that's where Broker struggled a bit. I feel like the MF wasn't really working that well in this game, just with the threats that D+ had. But I feel like we've already seen D+ be our best team in best of 3 Fearless. We're going to be going into best of 5 Fearless.
Yeah.
And I think that is only going to make them stronger.
Yeah, imagine where Showmaker goes when he's finished with the Tryndamere game and the Set game, you know? Like, I don't know. There's I don't know, and I'm very much looking forward to finding out. Also looking forward to finding out who picks up player of the match. I imagine it might be the guy that, you know, was in side lanes for 2 games in a row, unless it's Xiu that collects it. And I think this is more for the Na lock-in, and I actually heard some boos from the audience there. Maybe some of them disagreeing with this choice. I imagine it was a difficult one to make.
I think they were doing the chant, the Su.
Ah, okay, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it wasn't really an uplifted maneuver, because I personally thought that Showmaker was sort of the main character for this series.
I think I voted for him, ultimately for Shiwu, because I think the Na game, he really set that one up, made that one happen.
Because he did the hop crush wallop 4 times.
Works like a charm. But then also the Camille game, like when he did join the fights, he was doing a lot in those as well.
Yeah.
Finding angles.
Certainly was. But now it is time to hear from Xiu, so let's throw it over to Dia for the translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by Xiu on the side of D+ Kia. Wow, what a support from the fans. And you get to finish the group battle with an undefeated 5-0 score. This is your first POM. How do you feel?
못 받고 있었어가지고
No, I haven't been getting any POM.
꼭 받고 싶었는데
And I really wanted to make sure that I get one today.
오늘 POM 받을
So
정도로
being able to get POM makes me really happy.
다음 경기에는 제가 만족할 수 있는
But I also feel like I didn't perform as well as to deserve the POM, so I want to make sure to do even better next time.
맞아요.
You must have been so disappointed for not getting POM. Yeah, I was a little disappointed. Yeah, today, OK Savings Bank Brillon showed their potential, but with a reverse sweep, you avenged yourself for the Kespa Cup. How satisfying was that?
굉장히 분했었는데 이번에
Yeah, I was so upset after that Kespa Cup, and I've always made myself and reminded myself that we would have to get a revenge. So I'm so happy that we're able to achieve that today. And with your Camille in Game 3, you really showed how good at the macro management you are. So how do you manage to
운영을 하려면
sort of play out those side lanes really well?
잘하는 선수들이 있어야 가능하다 생각하기 때문에
Honestly,
팀원들 덕분에
for you to be successful at pushing side lanes, I think you just really need to have a good team and plus a good AD carry. So I think that's what really allowed me to be successful today. So with all the lane swaps, you know, we hear that top lane is not fun, that you get dove all the time. You have to do a 3v1 or 4v1. So what are your thoughts on this? You know, yeah, all the patches that actually have come out do lead to these sort of results with all the top dives.
앞쪽에서도 편하게 픽하고 딜러체 많이 할 수 있었으면 좋겠습니다.
And I really hope that in the future they're able to adjust the game so that I can start playing some top champions that deal a lot of damage and actually have influence in the game. And yeah, you guys have been able to show a lot of unique picks, so with the playoffs being a best of 5 format, can we expect even more unique picks and diverse
지금 혹시
comps?
아직 쓰지 않았지만 좀 숨겨둔 카드
Yeah, I think so. It's all due to the fearless draft.
한두 개 정도는 있는 것 같아요.
오,
Yeah, I feel like I do have some maybe 1 to 2 more cards up my sleeve that I haven't been able to show yet.
여기서
Okay, in preparation for the playoffs, can we hear a shoe?
하면 돼요.
네.
Okay, can I go ahead now? Fans are shouting, "You can do it!"
와, 팬분들이 같이 해주셨습니다. 더 힘을 받으셨을 것 같은데요. 네, 디플러스
Wow, all the fans joined in to give him moral support.
너무너무 축하드립니다, 시우 선수.
감사합니다.
Congratulations again, and that's the end of the interview with Shiu, and back to the space. Thank you.